Hey everyone, how we doing?
What's up, y'all?
I'd like to
Hi,
welcome
hello.
you guys to our
Our official
13th,
teenage episode.
12th.
13.
I just edited the stupid thing, and I already forgot it.
Jason has small brain.
13th
small
episode.
Brain.
Jason has smooth brain syndrome.
No, Zero, you're not first.
You wish
Monkey
you were
Nips was here, I'm pretty sure, before we even went live, so.
first. Yeah,
Very
very funny. Very
We'll
haha.
start off with our standard introductions. As always, I'm Jason.
I'm Becky.
Of course you are.
Wait. I'm Logan?
Yep. And we have
Yep.
a very special guest with us today. Gotta introduce yourself.
What up, boys? It is Gaz, and this is the first interview for the channel ever, so it's nice to see all y'all.
It's good to have
Yay! We got...
The
Yeah,
ribbon system fucking sucks!
Oh my god.
you.
Don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of questions about ribbons, because that's 90% of what your audience asked.
Okay, Kuva or Monkey Nips, how's our audio? Is someone too quiet? Is someone too loud? Other than Gaz just screaming the ribbon system sucks. Just then. Can you all take turns speaking?
Okay.
We will,
Can you
don't
all
worry.
keep on Speaking.
Bitches ain't shit.
But hoes and
Yeah.
tricks.
I wanted to continue that, but I decided not to.
But hoes and tricks.
Yep.
Wow, imagine the other two members of CephalonChat not even being online.
Okay, you
Online what?
understand after doing that 9-hour run, I
Blah,
haven't
blah,
wanted
blah,
to
blah,
touch
blah. Angum
Warframe.
2025. Thank you for the follow.
I haven't
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
the
touch
usual.
Warframe.
You
They
might
call
be
me
one of the
Logan
longest, that's probably one of the longest runs that a female endurance runner has ever run in Warframe. I think Adi did a 9-hour as well. That's honestly a milestone.
Oh my god, Becky, you gotta go for the world record.
9 hours.
What's
World
the
record
world
female percent.
Female any percent. Oh my god. I
Logan
wanna
sounds
drown.
fine. Alright, that's good. That's all we care
I
about.
want to hear.
Yeah.
They were doing Warframe, first female contact, any percent.
First female. Yikes.
You either play with a girl frame or you play as a female operator.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess.
Log on, Logan.
Yes, I can log on.
This is a Warframe show. Shouldn't be playing your
Minecraft.
game of the
I've already
week.
been- I wasn't even playing anything.
Even
It
though
is
you just
still
signed off
expired.
of VDO to
Okay,
Yeah,
put in Warframe.
but at least like on Warframe.
Okay, let's be real. It's a pretty slow week for Warframe right now, okay? It's
We-
not really too big of a surprise that you're not like, oh man, yeah, I just got off of farming relics for 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
we also
here we
did
are. Just
like...
gonna take a break from farming to do this
God.
podcast real quick. That's not how it's happening.
Yeah, no. You gotta keep in mind that it wasn't the 9 hours. I was in an endurance for 5 hours 2 days ago. And then I was also in a 3-hour one yesterday. And then, 2.5 hours Monday? Or whatever, when we did it, Gaz?
That was almost 3 hours.
Yeah. So, I am a little drained on Warframe, considering I've spent probably about half a day farming.
Hey, but you got that trade ban you've been wanting for weeks. So.
Yeah, that's alright. New highlight of the episode, guys. I finally got trade banned. I have been wanting that
Oh,
since
yes,
I've
that's
started.
So
Hold
just
on. Before Jason continues
Monk-
to brag
Monkey
like a
Nips
jackass, instead of
subscribed.
noticing
thank you
Monkey
so
Nips has
much.
subscribed.
Thank you so much.
Monkey Nips, you're a sweetheart. You're a hero. I think you're one of our 3 or 4. What do we got? 3 subscribers?
Something
Well,
like that.
we
I
were.
think
I,
We're at-
subs almost out.
first time we hit affiliate, we had Logan, not Logan, Murphy gifted 5.
Yeah, Yeah.
And then I think we're at 7.
You can check. Doesn't it tell you? We're at 7.
I think.
Yeah, something like that. That's
We
pretty
got-
neat.
Oh,
Pretty
Rufa, did
spicy.
you, did you
Poggers.
sub last week?
Did you just say poggers in my house?
Poggers.
Yeah, I've been hanging
Scared
out
to
in streams too
die.
much. Okay, Logan, are you
Any
online?
big ones recently? Yeah, I'm in game.
It's fishing time. Are we doing
Let's go to Fortuna.
late lunch with
Yeah,
Little Duck?
Fortuna. Yeah,
Late lunch with Little Duck, yeah.
Doing
Even though
dessert
it
with
says early lunch with Kansu on the.
Late lunch
the
with Little
screen.
Duck is just fine.
Change it quick.
What'd you say?
Late lunch, change it quickly. Late lunch, Little Luck.
Little Luck?
Fine, hang on. I'll change it while we're in
Scuff
transition.
stream.
Scuff stream. Who dare?
All right, restart.
We did.
Restart. Let's get a second try.
Restart the stream because it's
All right,
Scuff.
redo the intro.
The intro. Hey
Hi,
guys,
I'm
I'm
Get
Jason.
Fun. I'm
Pog is
Logan.
okay. It's Pog. You can't.
Bitches ain't shit.
Thank you. No, welcome to our little early segment. That's enough rambling and nonsense before we actually get to talking about, things that
not
happened. TennoCon is in
Foul
like,
play.
my brain is dying, like 10 days, something like that.
August 1st.
Actually, like
Quick,
7,
someone count.
6, 8
Is
days, something like that.
There is a 31st. It is in 8 days. Interestingly enough, yeah, it's on a Saturday. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So TennoCon's coming up. They revealed the Heart of Deimos, which is this
Jason, just do LD.
cool little.
No, I can fit it. Oh, I can't.
No, you can't.
Wait.
Don't shrink it. Don't sacrifice it.
All right, all right.
What are you guys? Oh my
Seven.
god.
Who said 7? Because you're wrong. Oh, wait, you might live
I
in the
did
future.
because my brain's small. But as
Well, then
TennoCon's
Australians
coming
are
up,
too
they
big.
revealed Heart of Deimos, which is going to be this cool, hopefully raid.
Raid.
Thing, hopefully
It's gonna be a
something
raid.
interesting.
It's totally
Well,
a
more
raid.
information's come out since then, but we can talk about that when we get to that topic.
Wait, really?
There's been some investigations by our good friend Tech Potato, who is does a really good job.
Oh yeah, I saw about that.
Should we get into it now, or are we gonna?
Yeah,
No,
we
we
can talk
can-
about it now, real quick.
Do we wanna? Okay.
Well, did you
Because we
finish
were
mentioning
saying
everything that
about-
happens?
Probably.
Yeah, let's be
Yeah.
real, probably.
There's
And
nothing
just
much
today, like not a
Yeah.
really big deal, but
Yeah.
Warframe Market did add lich trading today, which is kind of nice.
Oh yeah, that is pretty neat.
I've already sold some liches there, and I mean, that's much better than Trade Chat. Unfortunately, they're auctions, which do have the buy it now price technically, so it can just be a lich selling website for a lot of people. So yeah. All right, so Heart of Deimos. They released a trailer for it, I believe, on Tuesday of this week. Actually, it was Monday of this week, and well, pretty much the trailer starts out with just the edgy flashing between scenes. There's infested chargers. There's a new infested centipede enemy that I'm assuming will have some type of armor because centipedes are like have a carapace. And they are all in an indoor setting, which does look like an old Orican tower. And there's also a door with a force field around it. So that's pretty much all we know. That trailer also did show us what Twitch drops we'd be getting at TennoCon, which is going to be Hydroid Prime and a
Hand
potentially
cannon.
exclusive pistol weapon, not a skin, an actual weapon for watching the stream. And it's I don't remember the name of it, but it basically looks like
Aphodai.
the Aphodai. It looks like a alien blaster from Fallout a little bit. And yeah, that's all we really know about that is a trailer. But I mean, I can go into some more details here if you guys want me to keep talking.
Go
Yeah,
for
feel
it.
free.
We're
What did
showcasing you. So.
what's
Our
Tech
homie
Potato
Tech Potato released a video a couple days ago. So at first I thought that this force field door inside Heart of Deimos, I was thinking that might be like a raid or something like that, because
I was thinking.
heart is like something that's like deep embedded in the human body or like living body. underground. Usually raids are like not above ground. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Deimos, because apparently Deimos is like a raid boss in Guild Wars 2. It's a moon. It's a moon outside of Mars's orbit. And it's an infested situation. Like, we haven't really had a big girthy infested update since like, I don't know, like 3-4 years ago.
Mutalist incursions, I think. Breeding grounds and mutalist incursions were the last big infestation things we got.
Not a lot of people remember. Before, the infested were just like chargers, ancients, the mutalist flying guys. And then I think
they didn't even those were relatively new. Well, not they were new in the lifespan. They had the crawlers, the chargers, the leapers, the ancients, and the
yeah, but that update, they added the brood mothers, they added the mutalist moas, they added some other stuff too, the boilers. Yeah, so that was honestly like one of the biggest updates to like enemy forces we had seen way back then. That's when we also got the mutalist LNV boss. That's when Mesa came out. So yeah, big up. And since then, there hasn't really been much. Like, we've gotten Plague Star, we've gotten, I mean, that's pretty much it. I guess the Ghoul technically like hybrid infested Grenier, but yeah, Plague Star.
We kind of got like the temporary stuff with Nightwave Season 2.
Ah, yes.
We kind of got that. I mean, you can still go back and fight the Zealoid Prelate, which is it's actually a pretty cool boss fight. I'm glad they still kept it in the game.
That's true. They did add like 3 new enemies in the Nightwave Emissary season, but I don't even think you can fight those enemies in game anymore. The Zealot Pro Sterilizers, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And there was some. Actually, now that I think about it, there's 5 enemies they added. They added the infested brood pod or something like that. It was this enemy that would fly around and it.
The Thrasher and the Undying Flyer.
Yeah. The Undying Flyer, that's what it's called.
The Thrasher's still in the game. It's a demolisher on the infested.
Yep.
One. Yeah.
So, but I basically consider that extremely wasted potential and content. Like, why did we not see those enemies in normal missions? Like, so pretty much Heart of Deimos is, it could potentially, like, if it's not going to be a raid, like let me keep going on the route I was going down. So, but they released the screenshot, and you can actually just go see this right now. When you look at the screenshot for the Steel Path with Teshin above the star map, if you zoom in,
it looks like
right above Mars, there's an infested like giant biomass thing that a lot of people are theorizing is this Heart of Deimos new like tile set or like open world or whatever the heck they're going to end up making. So that's actually in DE official images, and there's also a site, I believe it's Warframe Tracker or something like that, where it tracks all the Nightwave challenges, it tracks all of the the Eidolon Knights and all that stuff. And there was temporarily something called I think infested bounties or something like that. Deimos bounties.
Yeah. I think it was infested bounties. I do remember that, and people wrote it off as Plague Star at one point. Or like
what a lot of people are thinking is that it will be like similar to an Eidolon Knight, where like basically you go into this. People are assuming it's an open world or some kind of like new tile set fusion type of thing, like maybe like a relay that you go to, and they're like, all right, here's the infested brood hives. And then you go out there with like a team, and it's like a mini mission segment, which could potentially be pretty cool, where it's like, okay, we'll go into the Heart of Deimos. This is the enemy you're hunting. You're hunting the infested brood lord, and like you have to like do a multi-stage situation. That's where the force field door would be coming into play. Is like you clear the first section, the door opens. You're going deeper into the Heart of Deimos,
so
and
kind
you're finding
of like,
What were you saying?
Kind of like a Kuva assault kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, like a Kuva assault thing, but like with different like end goals. Like, so for example, like if you get the brood bounty, that's like clear out the infested hive like generators or something like that, or like kill the boss, like an assassination type of mission. So it would be like a bounty, pretty much, like literally like a bounty on Plains of Island, where it's a multi-stage, like, oh, I've defended the console, I've rescued the hostage. It would be like that, but all indoors and not actually tied to an open world, tied to a relay.
Hopefully more interesting.
That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, that would potentially be cool. Of course, I would definitely prefer some worthwhile team play required content, like something like a dungeon or a raid,
Me too.
where communication is not maybe essential, but is helpful. And I don't believe that a new sort of bounty is really going to provide that to people that want that. And it is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, infested bounties like that are not going to bring players back to the game. That are like, Warframe has no actual good content. It's just like really easy, generic, like just mowing down easy, like brainless enemies. And that just sounds, if we're just, the infested are already the easiest faction. Like you don't even need to mod for them specifically. You just kill them. Like with what I got equipped right now, radiation, yeah, one shot's no problem. They have no armor, they have no shields, it's just health. It's people, a lot of people that have left the game, I mean, they might have left for a bunch of reasons, but worthwhile content is definitely a big one that I hear from a lot of people that don't come back. So I think that's not really going to be resolved by just infested. Like, we can of course see what they're going to do, but yeah, I don't think it's going to really solve the issue of at least what I was hoping a raid would actually solve.
Well, I wasn't around for original raids, so I'm not quite sure about anything to do with them. I'm just hoping it's cool content that I get to play with my friends. You know, that's really it. I have fairly low expectations.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of what I go into it. Give it like minimal, not low expectations, but give it minimal expectations, and just it's new content. In the day, it's something. Even if it's an event you do for a week, it's like it's something to do.
Yeah, another update like that. It lasts for a week, maybe even less. You know,
I'm hoping if anything,
probably even less, maybe a day.
Oof.
Like the Deadlock Protocol. I mean, content-wise, that was like 3-5 hours for most people I talked to.
Yeah, I finished it day 2, I think.
I'm still missing a lot of it because I didn't farm it all out in one sitting. So.
Most of the content for the.
What are you, a Warframe player or not?
She was too busy doing IR survival to grind out the new stuff. All right.
Oh yeah. That's the only other news that happened in Warframe this week. I did a 9-hour survival with Ludens, and I am never doing it again. No, there's no point. It wasn't even like Steel Path. I can't flex with it. I can't buy like excessive.
It was
Kuva
mod.
with it.
You got a lot of relics.
I just did it.
Did you get trade banned?
I did.
Yes.
I did get trade banned.
I got double trade banned.
Did it reset the duration?
I don't know. I don't care to look. It probably did, but yeah, I got 2 inbox messages saying that I've been trade banned.
Good, you hacker.
But yeah, so trade bans, neat. Heck yeah.
I'm wondering if
That's
they're
the
gonna
only
ever address
other
that.
cool news. Never.
Because like
Absolutely
honestly,
never.
like
Just stop being
with
the game,
the
lol.
with the introduction of Steel Path, I feel like the average Joe player has actually, maybe not all of them, but some of them have been like, oh, the steel essence isn't really dropping as much until later in there, because the Eximus spawns do ramp up. The average Joe is getting introduced to trade bans now, which is something that only the endurance community was really aware of.
They've been working. I know they pushed out a patch last update. Like they pushed like out a fix last update that said it would address it, and I mean I went 3 hours last time and didn't get trade banned. But I
you
wasn't
were already
lucky with
trade banned, right?
Yeah, I was
I'm
trade
assuming
banned
it
the
just
first
reset it,
time we went
honestly.
through.
You had terrible luck. You only got 60 when we got 250 the other, or however much it was, 200 the other day.
Yeah, 150. Before
Like,
we got
they
tired.
should, if they want to like be
Oh,
smart
we got-
about this.
We got host
would-
migrated.
Yeah, that's true. If they want to be smart about this, they need to just tell the bot, like, get mission results from mission that runs that go out. Like, okay, here on the high end, like the example, our squad's right there. In like about 3 hours, I felt pretty lucky in that run that we got. We had a really good kill flow going. We were killing a bunch of infested. You were like spamming with Cora. We got roughly 200 steel essence with boosters in about 2.5, 3 hours. That's a high end run, I'd say. On the other hand, you got 60 in another 3-hour run, I think like yesterday or whatever. They should be able to determine and tell their bot, okay, this is what you should expect. Someone gets 500 steel essence in 3 hours, that's probably really fishy and not actually possible. But they're not even going down that route at all. It's like what's the arbitrary? The worst thing is we don't even know this arbitrary number that they pull from to cause trade bans in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like taking shots in the dark. Like, oh, am I gonna get trade banned for this run? How long are we going this time? Oh, 3 hours. I got trade banned for 3 hours last time. I've done 5-hour survivals and not gotten trade bans. So what's the freaking cutoff here? That's what I want to know more than anything.
Resource boosters and cat buffs.
No, because I did a 5-hour survival with a resource booster in my Smita cat, and I didn't get banned.
That's fucking weird. I got banned for a 3-hour, for a 5-hour with Smita, and yeah, I got banned.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just feels arbitrary. Like it happens when it happens.
They just pull it out of the hat, and it's like, all right, it's a trade ban this time.
I've gotten trade banned for runs I didn't even use a booster in.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Did a Nightmare do like a 5-hour one and didn't get trade banned?
I think I heard you saying that. Yeah.
It was like a 5-hour run with Revenant or something. If I recall. But yeah, long story short, trade bans big dumb, and I did 9 hours. Don't ever do it. There's no reason. There's no point.
So did you just like sit there, or were you guys just like running around? Was there a tactic, or was it just like?
We did stay in one room primarily, but we were
like between 2 different rooms. Like Ludens had his room where he was killing things with Ash, and me, Becky, and Knight all had we had the big. It was Mott, so we had the tree room. You know, the one with the tree in the center and the double and the 2 layers. Yeah, we were in that one, and I was Cora whipping them.
Jason left to play GTFO.
I left to play GTFO with the
You been in that
boys.
voice chat with us. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just play the literal entire day. 9
Yeah,
hours.
no,
I
actually,
played
it was.
As soon as I woke up, and then I pretty much went to bed a little bit afterwards, like a couple hours after.
Yeah, they did a full 9 hours.
It was awful. I wish 9 hours were 40 minutes, man. I really do. But that's enough about complaining about that. We have more important things to attend to.
It's interview time.
Oh baby.
Let's move on over to the couch.
So I have no idea any of these questions. Anyone in chat, just point that out. I have no idea. I've not heard any of these questions yet.
So this time we decided to do it a little different, chat. Usually we come up with our own questions and we just write them down, you know, thinking, oh yeah, what would people ask? Probably this, this, and this. Cool. But this time...
It's a research. Brainstorming questions.
Yeah.
It usually takes us weeks even.
Weeks, totally. Very, very hardcore research. But this time we had... He thought, hey, I could put a community post out on my YouTube. So the first few questions are from us, because, you know, they're the standard ones we want to ask. And then the rest of them are from Gaz's community. And the only one that I really didn't consider putting for a question was PP reveal. And
it's more of a statement.
Yeah, that was the only question that was really a meme, other than Ordis, just Ordis.
Just the word
and,
Ordis was there.
So.
Real
Why'd
quick,
you put PP reveal in there?
I am gonna restart my game because
reveal.
I can tell it's stuttering.
Host migration.
But no, yes, PP reveal was one of the questions. I assume there is no PP reveal today.
Not today, no.
Not today.
Yet.
So, yet. I don't know if I
what
like
about
that.
feet? Can we get Gaz feet pics?
My feet are covered
No.
in tattoos. If you really want to see them.
Oh, I forgot one more thing. In case you guys don't know, there's a lovely streamer named Bob Baghetti, and he actually made an OnlyFans today, so you guys should totally check that out on his Twitch channel.
Is that a meme?
Yeah, it's yeah, it was a joke.
It sounds like a meme, yeah.
I don't
No,
see
but
the comedy.
but he seriously made an OnlyFans. I
Maybe
think
I'm
he's
gonna make
gonna
one
put
too
cat
now.
pics on it.
I'm gonna plug mine as well. OnlyFans for Gaz coming out soon, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Official announcement.
CephalonChat exclusive. You heard it here first. GazTTV
And you can sip
OnlyFans.
to it tonight.
oh my god. It is interview time.
Go ahead. I'm sorry for the really memey interruption.
That's what we need. That's what we're about.
Alright.
Alright, should we go couch order?
What is couch order?
Becky,
I'm not
Logan,
currently
me.
looking.
Leave me.
Alright.
Jason.
I'm actually
Alright.
making one right now, by the way.
Oh my god.
You inspired
Wonderful.
me.
If you get me the link, I'll put it on the stream table
Yeah, let's
Perfect.
make
as our centerpiece.
Bruh.
What pictures do you have a feet?
Go ahead, Becky. Start us off.
Alright, so first, just introduce yourself. Say hello. Tell people what you do. Go.
Hello, anyone that's not here already from my channel. My name is GazTTV. I do YouTube and Twitch content creation for Warframe pretty much. Done a couple videos for some other games here and there, but definitely the main focus of the channel is Warframe. Basically builds for people that have everything in the game already, just trying to get some strats here and there, some cheesing for some events, some strategies you might have not thought of in the first place, and basically just showcasing my account and how I play the game and get some ideas out there that basically what I have fun with, just show people maybe they're gonna like it as well. Recently made a video on a red crit Zaw video with like a Exodia hunt. A lot of people have apparently like that one. I've seen some people building that on console and all that stuff. So yeah, and twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV, youtube.com/GazTTV as well.
Perfect.
I like
Hell
it.
yeah.
Quick shout out.
Quick shout out. How
Alright.
dare you shout yourself out?
Yeah, what do you think this is? Free publicity? Are you kidding me?
Twitter.com/Gaz TTV, or TTV Gaz actually.
You can
Alright.
you can put it in the chat if you want to link it as well.
I'm too busy to make my OnlyFans account right now.
Oh, that's fair. All right, go ahead,
my
Logan.
God.
They're making like one, like just signing up for an account, or making one for yourself.
I'm literally making one that I can
I like it.
simp
I
or
like it.
have people simp to.
I like it. Okay.
Good. You can subscribe to it too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I like to. I'm all about the community. You simp for me, I'll simp for you. All right. So now an
Oh my
actual
gosh.
question. How long have you been playing Warframe? What are your hours both in game and on Steam? Because they're usually quite different.
Okay, so I've been playing since 2014. My first message in the inbox is October 10th, I believe, of 2014. I've got the videos of Vahak destroying the relay and all that stuff. And my Steam hours, let's take a look right here. I have 7,972 on Steam. And I have, in mission time, is 4,685.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
It's a couple more than a few.
That's a couple more than a few.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that many hours. That's a lot. I think Jason has like 3,000-ish maybe
For what?
for Steam hour, like
Steam
in-game
hours?
Steam hours.
My Steam hours are 3,323.
You nerd.
Okay. You know what? Rude.
Only you're there. Gaz is fine. He's a content creator. He can play the game as much
Are
as
we not content creators? Is that not what we are?
want. They had like 2,500 hours before we started this.
Okay. what's your end game hours?
We already said that. You were
Oh.
just weren't paying attention.
You're
And
right.
around 7K versus 4K.
Enough.
7K?
Too many.
Almost 8K.
Oh
Holy
my
crap.
God. Imagine playing a video game for that long. I don't think I've played any video game that long. I don't think I've played a combination of all the video games I've played for that long.
But you have played
Yeah.
9 hours survival, which is longer than the ones I've done. You're
I
spending hours in the
regret-
right
Hours in the right place. Not so sure about that.
All
I
right.
was just trying to make.
See, you
My
can't play
turn.
RuneScape for 15 years. That's illegal.
15
You
years.
bought
God.
RuneScape after the first few.
How would you describe? Go ahead, Becky.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm not trying hard enough. I see how it is. Feelings hurt.
Okay.
Alright, continue.
Gaz, how would you describe the content that you create for YouTube and Twitch, I guess?
Let's see. So as far as YouTube, a way that I got my channel really off the ground was basically getting the videos out before the big dogs already have an established community have. Getting the search algorithm on my side. Someone searching for Catch Moon Primary. I was literally the first person on YouTube with a Catch Moon, or not Catch Moon Primary, a Catch Moon Secondary. I was the first person on YouTube with a Catch Moon Secondary video, the first person with a Magus Lockdown video, the first person with a Exodia, or whatever it's called, Pax Bolt, Pax Seeker video. Pretty much every Prime Access besides this most recent one, I'm the first person to get those videos out.
Holy cow.
Additionally, we also do videos on cheesing events. Basically, I play them on the first day. They have no QA team at DE, it seems like, so it's not very hard to find out how to completely get the most out of the abilities and stuff that they provide to us. Like, for example, Exploiter Orb on the first day. That's the big blue one that has an ice field.
Yep,
It
yep,
drops
yep.
the fish. On the first day, you could drop down Octavia's Mallet, you could use
Yep.
no Molecular Prime, and skip the entire first phase, which would basically cut down 7 minutes of your run, maybe even more if you were
Yeah,
just like
I
first.
remember that. That was great.
Oh God.
Did you
Stuff like that.
Did you do
Yeah.
the Thermia fracture cheese with the Amatia?
The thing about the Thermia Fractures, when it first came out and I did it, there was no like it was literally just mobile defense. Like they didn't add like any of the modifiers like radiation procs, spider spawns. Like
Yeah,
it was so grinded out in like one night with my old clan, and like it was not worth it. But
yeah,
it
I
didn't
did
cheat.
too.
It's a hard event. I tried it like a couple months ago just to like get a reminder of what it's like. They added so much stuff to it. It is not easy anymore.
Bob, I see you there. Thank you for the host.
Especially with rad procs. If anyone's playing Mesa or whatever, you're all getting gunned down by Mesa. They just got rad procced, and that's like that's what makes it harder. Honestly, it's
That's
the
the
fact
best
that your teammates can kill you.
part.
Yes, I love wasting my time as the console gets blown up by Mesa.
I mean, honestly, that's the best part. I can't tell you how many times, like when the Brahma used
Oh
to
my
have
god.
like a larger. We would always, whenever we did the sortie,
Whenever
be
you
like,
saw
yeah,
the
guys,
rad
this is
sortie,
rad
alright, it's Brahma time.
That's
Yeah,
when
we'd
you
all
just
put on the
PvP.
Brahma and just purposely try to kill each other because we're terrible people.
Because you can't get the Brahma in Conclave, so like, why wouldn't you?
I just like blowing people up.
So yeah, like the basically, I'm not gonna call them exploits, but exploits of events, end game builds, late game builds, basically really fast content. I do all my content without editing. I basically do it in one take.
The one take legend.
Yeah, and live entirely. So if you hear a phone call in the background, that's because I don't give a fuck. It's not getting edited out because I don't know how to edit it out. Yeah. And I used to do Nightwave videos every week, but I'm sure you guys, if you guys are regular players of the game, you've noticed that Nightwave definitely drags on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And at this point, no one really cares about the Nightwave challenges every week. So
No, I'm already ranked 30. I don't care.
exactly, isn't that crazy? We're like the third level of the puzzle, and we're already well past Nightwave level.
Yeah,
30.
what was the point of that? Why did they release it once every 2 months?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I'll play devil's advocate and say it's because of COVID and their short staff trying to get TennoCon the best that they can. So Nightwave got put on the back burner.
And it's really disappointing to me personally because when they first announced Nightwave, like every 3 months, a small amount of story content, world-changing events, some little rewards here and there. We get some new augment mods that aren't extremely special. There's going to be like a new armor set, some new cosmetics. I'm like, oh my god, it's seasonal content for Warframe. This is exactly what I wanted. I want people to be engaged and have a reason to come back every 3 months. But as far as this seems, it's not really. Well, first off, the rewards for this one suck. But I could be okay with crappy rewards if it was regularly updated. We had a 5-month intermission with literally no new rewards. Oh, yeah. By the way, if you were a dedicated player that grinded out the Eidolon Ephemera and the Wolfenstein 6 armor set in the seasons they were relevant, you don't get anything for those levels on a Nightwave. It's literally you get the Eidolon level for I think the previous intermission was like level 25 or something like that. You got jack shit. You don't even get like 50 credits. They give you nothing.
Yeah.
That is so lazy. And they refuse to comment on it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such waste of potential. Just like every other update and every other idea in this game, maybe not every, but most, it's an amazing concept, but poorly implemented, poorly executed, and it just makes us look bad compared to other games. Like, this should be our battle pass that's like, oh, and I'm honestly surprised they didn't add a paid track. It's a free-to-play game. Why is it not a paid track?
I don't know. Probably because they
Yes,
don't feel like they need to have a paid track. And I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like this should have been better. Should have kept people more engaged, especially for Warframe, where it's a free-to-play. Like, give us actual incentive to get log in, have like a couple daily things, have your weeklies. And most of the time, it's like you get your weeklies, you spam them out in 1 hour, and then it's like you're done.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like just like Jason and like Becky.
And like, there's really no incentive at all to go past level 30. You get 15 Nightwave creds per level. Like, an entire week of challenges is about 4 levels. That's like 60 credits.
Finish it.
Yeah. And that's about 10k Kuba for doing all these tedious challenges that, of course, vary in difficulty. You can sometimes get the entire Nightwave done for a week in about 2 hours-ish. But like 10k Kuba is not enough of an incentive for me to go do the Profit Taker, go do 10 nightmare missions. Like, dude, come on. Like, I could just go play another game, or I could just go, not play games, go do something else than waste my time on that crap.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say that you might need the credits for is Nightane, because you can't get it anywhere else reliably.
Right.
That's the only reason I would continue, but I don't even need Nightane anymore.
Oh, of course, for players like us, it's even more compounded, where we've already got the time of Nightwave alerts has long gone. I have like 120 Nightane just sitting in my inventory with no use for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I had a bunch before when it was just like an alert, and now it's like I'll never need it again.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. There's no resource in the game I actually need besides Argon, because that decays every day.
Exactly. That's so stupid.
Yeah, all that Argon you got, Becky. I hope you
you
don't mind waving it goodbye.
That's true as well. They removed the alert system for this. It's like we can't have one without the other. It's like, oh, let's take away all alerts.
It goes back into like how they wanted it to be, like good on paper, bad in practice. Like they wanted it to replace the alert system and be a reliable source of, weekly content kind of thing, or like a time-based content. They wanted to give you a way to get the alt helmets and the Nightane and the Vobin pieces, but it flopped. And like I said, I want to play devil's advocate and say that they were trying to do better with this one, because I really don't like. I I I want to think that DE's not stupid enough to give us another, 3-4 month night wave after giving us the 5 month intermission. But
But you know it's gonna happen.
that's, wishful thinking. So I want to believe it's they wanted to do more, and then COVID hit and they were limited. Trying to get ready for TennoCon and fix other things. I want to believe that they were trying.
Every veteran player wants to believe that they're trying, they're going to change. But as a lot of people do refer to this as, it's kind of an abusive relationship at this point. The next update will be the good one, guys. Definitely. Oh, just wait till the Deviri Paradox. It's
Yeah.
the big game we've finally been waiting
I
for.
can feel it though. Deviri's gonna be good. It's not gonna happen again. D's not gonna slap their cock on us again, guys. I can tell.
I don't like how you described it as that.
Yeah. Well,
Steve and Rebecca.
Steel
power
Path
pin.
was a meh update, but I wouldn't say it was bad. I'd say that it's a good start and can be expanded on. What else?
Interrupted
There
the
was
chat.
God,
Bob also said, Jason, you would agree with this one. Could have had alerts give a varying amount of alt credits that we could spend at some NPC or something. And I think we've agreed. I think collecting tokens and then spending it at like a vendor is the best thing instead of giving just shit tier rewards.
yeah,
every
it
time.
is. Letting us choose what
Let
we
me
get
pick my
is much better.
Also, since we might have missed it and I'm not sure if it was said or seen, thank you, Monkey Nips, for gifting the tier 1 sub to Bob, the lucky bastard who got it.
Oh
And
yeah.
also the fun. Huh?
No, I did miss that. Continue.
Yeah. And then Monkey Nips redeemed a highlighted message of, I'm still waiting for Railjack to be what it was like in what they showed in 2018.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Look over this void storm, Rebecca. It's going to cause your navigation systems to bug out.
Time to take down this Kuvalich's capital ship.
That's the worst one right there.
Yeah.
They cut that out and gave it to us as a mainline update of the, what was it called again? The Old Blood.
The Old Blood.
The stanky blood that was god awful.
Stinky blood.
Yep. And it was. I could go on about this one all day, but
We don't have time for that, unfortunately.
maybe we should move on then. Maybe we should move on.
Before we devolve into rants.
We're talking on wow. We're on question 4.
Oh, that was 4? Okay.
Go ahead, Becky.
Okay, so here we are. What is your usual work schedule as a content creator?
Ooh. Okay, so continue. Sorry.
Like, even if it's something sporadic, like on days when or like weeks when you do have to get an upload or an update that comes out and you have to get that upload in as soon as you can so you can be one of the first people to talk about it. How does that usually work for you?
Okay, so yeah, like you said, when I am actively playing the game and able to hop on there immediately, it is a situation where it's okay, well, first of all, I'm not a Warframe partner, content creator, whatever the heck, so I don't get this stuff for free. So if it's a new item in the market, I'm gonna instantly go buy it. In most cases, but if it's a Prime Access or something like that, it's I was not in any rush to get Inaros Prime. I just got Inaros Prime today. He's been out for over a week at this point. So yeah. So what I've been doing lately, since I just started a job in July, a new job in July, I've been actually recording 3 or 4 videos in one night and then scheduling them for uploads throughout the day. So or throughout the week. So for example, I think it was on Tuesday, I recorded a Korra video, a Karst video, a Zaw video, and I've got a Stolta Riven video coming out tomorrow. So I'm gonna probably, once we're done tonight, I'm probably gonna record 3 or 4 more videos tonight as well. Probably gonna do whatever is on my mind. I might even do a trade ban video in the near future because I really have some more stuff to say about that.
Yeah, that's definitely rantable.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about it. Restrained rage is the best state of Cephalonchat. Absolutely. Let's see. So I guess when you can get on Warframe and hop on it, you're right on it. But I can also understand taking a step back from the video game, especially when it sounds like a lot of stuff about it kind of makes you peeved.
The reason I get so peeved is because I care, and I know the potential is there. Like, this is one of this game, the amount of customization allowed in this game, the amount of power variety in this game, the movement system, the feel of combat, it all it's like some of the stuff that could it's AAA quality, honestly. Like, no other game does the movement and the combat like Warframe does. Now, of course, there will be more games in the future trying to take that Warframe cheese, where it's like there's Godfall coming out in I think December. And you can pretty much tell they have tried to rip out a lot of stuff from Warframe. Like, even the armor sets are going to be like pretty much Warframe suits. They're going to have special abilities, like you can switch between them. You can change the weapons, but you cannot change the actual suits' abilities. So it is going to be very similar to Warframe. Of course, like I'm someone that plays a lot of Destiny 2. That is going to be vouching for my time as well. What'd you say?
Oh, you said the banned word.
That's a forbidden word. That's a ban.
Banned. Destiny banned.
Sorry, guys. Interview cut short. That's a ban. I'm sorry. That's an ongoing meme we've had. It's just
I know.
not funny. Thank you. Sorry.
But yeah, so the updates in Destiny 2, like this is exactly what I was talking about. When they announced Nightwave, and it's like, oh, every 3 months, it's going to be like basically content updates and stuff like that. And that's what Destiny 2 does. They have seasonal content every 3 months. There's like, it's not a huge update, but it's something new. There's new weapons to grind out. There's new story content. There's new mods, things like that. And that's what I was hoping Nightwave was going to be, but they have not been able to deliver on that. I don't know if it's a manpower thing. It's probably a manpower thing with DE. It is only a 300-person company allegedly. That is including like the HR department, the janitors, all that kind of stuff. So. Even their community managers have indicated that there is a air quotes good coders problem, and like they need to decide if they, like, for example, if they want to make cross save, they need to decide between getting their good coders on making cross save or making new content. So there does seem to be quite an issue there, they're getting pulled from many directions, and they just can't really stack up. It seems like so.
Yeah, I getcha.
Godfall has no
Alright.
microtransactions yet.
Yet, they say.
Yeah.
Yet is always a fun
important.
word.
That's how companies. No, that's how games stay afloat these days, which is kind of sad. It's life.
Yeah, money kind of is how things, get made, get done.
Mm-hmm. Which at the end of the day, you just gotta either buy them or you don't buy them. In Warframe's case, I'm either supporting DE or I'm supporting part of the community. So that's all right. As long as I'm not buying microtransactions on EA, or I'm just supporting a faceless corporation. Because I ain't no sheep.
Okay.
ain't no sheep.
All right.
All right.
Next
Before I
question,
see my
Logan.
Alex Jones
Wake up,
voice.
people!
All right, guys. Since a lot of people know your content for being loud and ranty, what would you say pisses you off the most about Warframe? Or what about Warframe gets you the most pissed? If that
Lately it's been the Riven system.
Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go. Lay it
The
on.
thing
Let's
about the
go.
Riven system is
Go off.
now, I as far as I'm concerned, I consider that a end game progression system. As far as much as we have in this game, would you guys agree with that? Like, arcanes are kind of like, I get 21 of them, I'm done. I don't like There's no reason to stack more than 21 arcanes after you get the R5. But Rivens, on the other hand,
Riven's
who the hell
just
knows if you
keep
get what you
on
want?
gambling, man.
It's literally gambling juice, and you're putting it into the purple mod. But here's the thing about the gambling juice and these purple mod. You can basically spend hours and hours and days trying to improve said Riven to get what you want. Say, for example, you got the Graham Prime. You're like, oh my god, I love the Graham Prime. The Graham Prime is my favorite weapon. But there's a couple problems with it. It's really slow. When I put all this elemental damage in here, it doesn't proc slash so much as I want it to. I want to get a attack speed, slash, and critical damage Riven. What are your ways to get that Riven? Oh, there is no way to get that because it's just a slot machine roll with no progression every single time, and you can literally spend all those hours and days putting Kuva into that Riven, and you can literally have the same roll that you started with.
Yeah.
Unless you're stupid and want to pick up the worst
You
one.
press the cycle button and you hope for the best every time.
Yes.
It's like that's like awful. I wish it's like 'cause you can go back. I wish you could just save like either one or none or fucking I don't know, make it better in some way.
And here's the thing that really annoys me about the ribbon system. It's pretty much exactly the same as the day it was introduced. The only thing they changed with the ribbon system is give us more Kuva or nerf or buff the roles that we already have. The RNG mitigation has never been added or even considered. We have direct quotes from the devs saying, oh, we don't see the benefit of improving the ribbon system RNG. What would be the benefit of that? Of course, it is a big money maker for them. So yeah, changing it to be less RNG, maybe giving us the ability to lock a stat or two, would be game breaking to them, because then they'd be like, well, this guy who just bought an Naros Prime Access has 3,000 plat is not wasting money on a Karst ribbon or a Panthera ribbon now, because he might actually feel some hope in his soul that he can be like, oh, I get the one I want. I don't need to buy it from this random scrub.
That ain't it, Chief. That's the wrong way to think. You always gotta buy it. You gotta buy the plat and then you gotta buy the ribbons.
Yeah, exactly.
How else
So
you gotta make your money?
yeah, I mean, I would say through like Tenogen stuff, but that's the thing that pisses me off the most. I'd say it's the ribbon system, because it's never been improved on. It feels like it's stuck in like loot box times, and like we've removed the loot boxes from this game, and it's even worse than that because they are actually tied to gameplay, and there is no actual progression there. Like, just for example, I've probably rolled like 200 plus rolls in the last week on ribbons, and that's like a lot of those worth 3,500 Kuva rolls.
Yeah, and that's such a waste too. Like it's so much Kuva for what you're putting in. Like we were saying, what is it like? The flood gives you what 1,200, and then
Yeah,
the siphons give you like 6. It's like you can, and even like if you do the Kuva survival, it's like you do for half an hour and you can get like 2 ribbon rolls. It's like unless you're doing the arbitrations to turn it in or you're doing the credits to turn it in, it's like it's so not worth your time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't touch ribbons. I have
Like, two
2 ribbons that I use that were both gifted to me, and that's what I use. I don't have the brain capacity to just roll and continue to tell myself that I'll get something good eventually. Like, eventually I'll get the god roll. It'll be fine. As long as I just keep spending.
but here's the thing: you won't. There is actually no way to guarantee you will get the god roll ever. You could,
Yeah.
if you were the most unlucky person on Earth, you could start with a damage like here. You can start with a minus damage or multi-shot roll, and if you have the worst luck on Earth, you could potentially get minus damage or multi-shot every single time. There's no pity timer like a gacha game. There's no stat locking. For example, I want to get a god roll Stolta ribbon. Damage, multi-shot, crit chance, minus zoom. That ribbon does not even exist. No one has rolled that yet. And there's no way for me to get that, even if I want to give them like 20,000 plat.
God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. Watching Zen rip
270k.
270k.
Kuva. Yeah, I
Slightly better
remember
roll.
that.
Oh, and yeah, he was getting negative crit damage, negative attack speed, negative range. These things shouldn't even be possible. You should never roll a ribbon and feel like it's a bad feeling. It should always be progression. If you're going left or right, you going with left again should improve the stats of the roll you already have. Because there's so many layers of RNG to this. Because if you didn't know this, I'm sure you guys already knew this. When you roll a ribbon, it is actually a stat range. So, for example, it varies between like 75% crit damage and 95% crit damage. Just an example. So even if you get the stats you want, the actual stat range might be on the low end, and it's not as good as it possibly could be.
Yeah, Ollie Fox, I was about to say that too. Locking a stat would make ribbons a lot more rewarding, in my opinion.
I feel like the steel path
It's
would
like
be the
actual
perfect place to add.
gambling.
Yeah. The steel path would have been the perfect place to add. Maybe like the steel path Eidolons, which, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you get 1 steel essence per kill, but I'm never going to touch those. They're a waste of my time. Add a stat locking item to the high level steel path Eidolons. They're a pain in the butt for normal players to get to and go through. And at this point, we've already beat every mission in the game. We're fighting higher level enemies. This is where ribbons actually are becoming kind of useful.
All right, I would love to continue to ribbon chat, but we have a few more Riven questions coming later, and I don't want you to
Okay.
end up answering all of them before we even get there.
Okay.
Especially since they're all from your viewers. All right, Jason.
All
go
right.
ahead.
We're gonna. These are questions that we've taken from the community. So, from Ironclad, why does DE nerf weapons that actually make the game fun?
Because they treat this game like it's freaking League of Legends PvP. They're like, okay, we need to retain the competitive integrity of this stuff, and if they make one weapon, if they go off their usage charts a lot, they have. We've even seen this when Pablo ended up nerfing the Catch Moon. He's like, oh, 50% of the player base is using the Catch Moon. He's like, here's the chart right here, and we looked at it, and like they go off of those type of stats a lot. It's really like their main basis. They don't really go in like math DPS calculations. I feel like when they make these weapons. For example, we get the Velox. What's the point of the Velox? It's just some generic full auto pistol with like serviceable crit chance and high stash chance and IPS. It is really like it's not like a DPS mod. Like you'd think
It's
they
got that
make
weird passive where it consumes like half a round.
Yeah, that's
like
not even
every 3 rounds.
It honestly could just not exist as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny.
They don't put a lot of thought into this stuff. I feel like I feel like the community puts more thought into like weapon stats and builds than the devs ever would even consider.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer that question truthfully, I don't really know why they do this, but they have some like tainted like views on the game, like having some balance integrity when it's not balanced in the slightest. Guns versus melee weapons is not even a comparison. Like there's maybe 1 or 2 guns in the entire game that can compete with melee, and I honestly that might even just be wrong because melee is far and away just so much better than any gun. Infinite ammo, AOE, no reload time. They can red crit. They can do SAS procs at the same time. Like it's not comparable.
Yeah, no, but I think that's also what gives Warframe a lot of its appeal. Is because the thing with primaries is that there's better weapons over the others, but you have like a limited number of primaries that you would want to use. But with melee, you have a metric fuck ton of choices that all compete with each other, kind of thing. But like the whole thing with Zen and the using the Zaw Nakana over the Nakana Prime, which you could use both, but because the Nakana Prime had increased stats, but you had the option to use a Zaw, which has access to the Exodia Arcanes. So you definitely got more of a flavor when it comes to melee, and I think that's why they don't really touch it that much, because there's so many options. Whereas with primaries, with the Brahma, for example, that was the only thing you saw in missions, because it was the only quote unquote like competition. Like it was the best primary in the game at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's more variety. There's more, I guess, there's more. What's the word for it? I don't know. There's more appetizing variety for melees than there are with primaries.
Yeah, you could look at every melee type in the game. Like you can find a viable or really good weapon in that type. I mean, besides Warfans, like there's only one Warfan in the game, and it actually is pretty good. You can look at every weapon type, and there's a good weapon in that archetype.
Yeah, hammer. You could do shit with the Wolf Sledge, the Fragger Prime, the fucking the Kuva Shildig. There's let's see.
Every hammer is good, to be honest.
Yeah, you got Size, you got Side Zaws, you got Hate, you got Reaper Prime. For the fucking Tonfas, both the Oma and Cronin are incredible. Pole arms, you got the Zaws, and the Orthos Prime is really good. The Legion is incredible. You even got sword and shields that you could screw around with the Sigma and Octantis with the weird shield throw passive, and the Silva and Aegis. You have so much of a variety with melee weapons over primary weapons, because when I see primaries, what I see in my arsenal is the Exceltra, the Fulman, the Ferox, and the Kuva Brahma. Unless I'm doing something memey with the Exorgist. Because nothing competes with melees.
Yep. And honestly, most of the time that you would be even using those primaries, you could have just used melee in that situation. It would have been better anyway.
Exactly.
Probably.
That's what I was saying. That's why I don't use primaries.
I've never seen you use a primary, Logan.
No, I was using the I do actually like
The Shadow.
cannon one. Yeah, the Shadow's quite
You
nice.
use the shadow a lot.
Yeah, once I got it, so now I got that. Well, the Riven's not. It's actually not good, but it's very versatile for me because it's cold, toxic, fire rate. So it gets me like it
That's a
never
nice
has
one.
to reload, and then it gives me already the viral. So it's like I can just build on top of that. Makes it a little fun.
Not the flex. My Shadow Riven is one of my best Rivens I own. It's a damage, multi-shot, critical chance minus zoom.
That's
incredible.
flex.
I was offered 20,000 flat for it back in the day, and I said no.
I would
I
have.
love it.
The shadow's a
It's-
pretty fun
But
weapon.
it's a fun weapon. I loved it. It was brand new at the time as well.
It sounds like my Rubico ribbons. Crit chance damage, multi-shot minus zoom. Crit chance damage, crit damage minus impact.
Very similar, yes.
Yeah. Alright.
We were talking about the ribbon
reading
system, right?
No.
what were we talking about?
Just reading some quick questions from chat.
I
Yeah,
would say
a lot of them
Shadow, and I
about
was like, oh,
how
shit, yeah.
using,
I heard someone say
using the
primaries
usage-
suck.
using the usage chart about how, like, people, if they played Gara or Octavia, they'd probably get nerfed.
Yeah,
And how
Jason, it's
Cora
still
hasn't
secure
been nerfed because no one knows how to play her. And how, you know, Redeemer and Strophe are like the best guns in the game because you never have to worry about ammo and you have really good mods to go with
That
them.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Here, like while we're talking about primaries, you know, could help fix primaries. Some better mods. The only really ridiculous mod we have for primaries is Hunter Munitions, and like a couple ones here and there. Imagine if we had Condition Overload for primaries, or Blood Rush for primaries.
That'd be pretty
That would
sweet.
make them comparable at least.
Yeah,
Maybe not actually
honestly.
on par, but comparable.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had
How
more
often do you
mods
run
like
critical
split
primary?
flights as well. Something that that took engage like a fucking a give and take kind of thing. Like more amalgam based kind of mods. Like you get something.
That would be a great place to
Yeah,
introduce.
yeah, I like
yeah,
that. I like
I
that.
agree. Like
what,
what
call
was
them
it?
Warframe? The ones from the the Vault. I play this
How
game.
about like a Prime Nightmare mod?
Okay,
Yeah.
split flights. I think is one of the is definitely a really sick mod. You can get 400% multi-shot with minus 180 accuracy, and I think that's a good trade-off because you know it's bows and it's situational. I think there needs to be more mods like that to like replace fucking split chamber. Just something to get rid of the mandatory mods and spice up things.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, I agree. Putting him in Steel Path, super good.
You don't need Condition Overload for primaries for the star chart. But when you start getting to that Steel Path Bullet Sponge level, the primary is pretty much like not even like worth using at that point.
Yeah, no, that's why I use the Ferox for utility.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I used my Savaris Prime because I actually have fun with that weapon. So,
Well, that's
I mean,
good.
of course,
I'm
I
glad
use
you
it
have
for
fun.
more, but
What'd you just say? You're having fun when you play.
Yeah,
video
you're having
games,
fun. What the hell?
I know, right? Banned.
The only
Uh,
time, okay, the real talk, the only time primaries are used like reliably is Eidolon hunts, and even then, the Redeemers taking the takes the stage from that.
We're doing kind of viable sometimes.
And if you wanted to jump through hoops and like have a total terrible time, you could melee the Eidolon. To be honest,
That is true.
people kill Eidolons with Valkyr.
I'm
Hell
sorry.
yeah.
Just
What?
slashing away.
Yeah, there are plenty of videos out there of people doing Eidolons with Valkyr.
That's pretty sick.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Redeemer
That's
is a
what I'm
meta
gonna-
Eidolon weapon right now.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
the Redeemer is there to overtake Rubico and Vectis and stuff like that.
Praises Victus.
I used
So
to
they can
when it was like
check.
one of the only weapons I had.
Stinky.
I've killed the Eidolon with Exodia Contagion. But yeah, that's also Exodia Contagion.
Yeah, was it with or without the Volt Shield?
Oh,
If you don't
Gaz,
bring Volt to an Eidolon fight, like, you are just not doing it right.
Gaz, did you do much Scarlet Spear?
Oh, I did. It was very brain dead.
Okay, no, okay. What's your mission score in Scarlet Spear?
Here we go.
I basically just did it until I had all the arcanes I needed. Let's see what we got. Where is that at? 153, almost 144k.
That's child's
Okay,
play
okay,
compared to
real talk. Guess what I have?
1 mil.
No, I'm not that crazy.
500k.
Higher.
700k.
713,000.
Did you have like no arcanes going into it?
I didn't have any arcanes going into it, and shoot me in the foot, but I actually kind of liked it. I had this method where okay, so if you only got 100, then you definitely didn't know about the Volt Exodia Contagion exploit. So when you meta time when you
I was aware of that. I just didn't want to make a video on it and get banned because I felt banned.
Oh well, yeah, I definitely wouldn't have made a video on it, but throwing the Exodia Contagion projectile through a Volt Shield just made it sit there forever.
It also would work with Gara's wall. It would bounce off Gara's wall and sit on the ground forever.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
That one might still work, honestly.
No, that's kind of neat. That's because no one uses Gara.
Does it bounce off of it, or does it go through it?
It used to bounce off of it.
Okay.
But pretty much, I only did the space team for that. I just played Limbo for like 10 hours, and
I did a lot of Contrix.
Thanks for those kill codes, dude. Needed them.
Honestly. Okay.
Before Jason continues his dick measuring contest.
Okay, you know what? Okay,
what,
next
am I
question.
Wrong?
Yes, next question.
Alright. Jezo Dragon. Do you think DE will ever add more to the operators, such as weapons other than amps, and maybe a revamping of the focus trees?
Well, funny story about that. I actually have some friends on the design council, and around when Fortuna came out, so I think that was like a year and a half ago?
Something like that.
Something like that. The design council actually voted on new focus trees, or not trees, new focus nodes for every tree. So Unairu, Zenerik, Manarai, etc., etc. They voted on new abilities for all those trees, and that never got implemented. So they are already designing this stuff in the background. And I do think that Deviri, I mean, we saw the trailer with a grown-up operator. I think the operator might actually end up wielding Warframe weapons eventually. That's just my guess. But yeah, I do think there's definitely some development going on in the background for operator expansion. Let's just put it this way: if they didn't, that is extremely neglectful because the focus system is so archaic. The fact that I can't spec into Void Radiance without getting rid of my Void Strike is ass backwards, and it really feels like it counterintuitive the entire process entirely. Because I actually am doing worse Eidolon fights if I ever wanted to do them because I have Void Radiance spec. And I should be able to take that away without losing Void Strike.
Yeah, I get that. I think. Do you think that they should give operators like the BDO treatment, where there's like a next tier that you can unlock?
That's what I think will happen with
like successions and like ascent. What is it? Awakening and successions.
I think that Deviri will actually give us like an alternate version of the operator. So you can still use the version we have right now, but after you complete whatever Deviri like story quest or like Void Dragon fight or whatever, you can actually choose to either bring the normal operator or you can bring the adult operator. That's where I think the maybe some new operator weapons will come into play. Maybe the operator using like a Tigress or some actual like normal weapon.
Didn't they talk about like some kind of operator sword as well, like an operator melee weapon?
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I think they did show some concept art for that.
Yeah, I feel like that was a thing at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be
great. So 100%, yes.
It'd be cool if the different schools had like different weaponry. Well, I kind of hate how the system is now. How it's like, yeah, like you were saying, how you have to like lock into one, and then like I can have what's it called? You get your Madurai void stack charge, but then it's like, oh, I really like my my Insidio from
Wisps.
Azurin and Unaru Wisp. It'd be nice if you could just save up if it was like you could just allocate where you wanted.
Or if they could make everything like a
Pick up
waybound
every
that can be used in
tree.
every tree, or maybe specific. No, like,
Hmm.
I want my
Even-
energizing dash and Neramon. That would be freaking amazing.
Why
Yeah,
can't
that's
we
what I'd say
have
too. Just way down everything, and
like
then just
an
have it like one
actual-
really big plus, and then you
Because
always
if
get
you
it.
do everything, that would probably be kind of broke. Like
Exactly, you'd be so OP.
why
You'd
can't
be
we
the real
have
operator.
skill points with or even just stick with focus points? Why can't we have it just a like one big tree like they do in Path of Exile, where you spec into
Oh.
different paths,
It's
and
like
along
Path
the
of
way,
Exile.
instead of having the way
That's-
bounds, along the way you pick up like plus HP or plus energy, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
because it's a very neglected system. That's why we can't have it.
Can't have
That's
nice
what I-
things.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Next
Taking a question from the chat before we go,
Go ahead.
continuing on our big list. Ollie Fox
So
asks, have you guys talked about difficulty and how to fix it? Have some ideas I want to share.
I reckon we
So,
have in one.
I
of the
guess-
videos.
I guess, what is your opinion about the difficulty of the game? Guess.
I feel like
What difficulty?
it's kind of hard to even talk about it because there really isn't any.
Yeah.
It's either bullet sponge. Back in the day, actually, like doing an endurance one was very difficult because you would just get one shot back then. Now it's like, oh well, shield gating, brief respite, rolling guard. Like it is completely different nowadays.
Yeah,
There is
but-
no such thing as a one shot unless you're a Naros.
But I think that was cool because it gave you a new way to play the game. Like before, you never would have built for shields, right? You would always build for armor and health as best you could. But with the addition of shield gating, it gave you an entirely different way to survive and play the game now. You know, how often before did you ever use Brief Respite or notice the Augur mods at work?
Pretty much no one did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's an interest. It's a new. You know how League likes to change the meta by purposely nerfing or buffing champions.
Yeah.
I kind of see something similar with this where they implemented shield gating and it's purposely buffing and changing the meta.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, that wasn't that added with Warframe Revise?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was literally an update entirely focused on spicing up the game, and I think that was a very highly appreciated update by most people.
Yeah. Until killed yes.
I mean, yeah, until people actually looked at the multipliers for gas and realized what actually happened.
It's like, oh, it's gone. Well, boys, it was good while it lasted.
Yeah.
But no, continue difficulty. Sorry, didn't mean to.
I mean, there isn't much here. That's why I think that we need to. If they're going to go going through these with these big nerfs, buffs, and stuff like that, we need actual worthwhile content. Which is why I really want a raid or dungeon like activity. These brood bounties that they're probably going to be adding, that's not going to be like actual difficulty. It's going to be like Modantum infested. Let's shoot the weak point on this guy. Like the mission's over. Let's collect our standing, collect our new set mods, and be on with our day. I think we need actual mechanics because we are so OP at this point. Like you put any challenge in front of the player, a fully like unlocked, fully mastery rank player at this point, they will absolutely immediately tackle that problem. There is a solution already in our toolbox because we have pretty much everything. We can CC, we can armor remove, we have Void Strike. For anything involving operator damage, we are set. We have Volt. Like they need to add actual mechanics that require team play. So for example, an enemy that requires shooting at the front of it and the back of it at the same time. There's no way you can do that solo. Or maybe there would be if like in specific situations, but something that requires team play, I think, is what we need to actually have difficulty in this game. And we don't. We have the hardest thing we got right now, I think, is Eidolons, I guess. Like, and even then, like they're completely trivialized with animation, abusing, and teleporting lures, all this stuff. They're a complete joke, and I'm surprised that DE's kept the Eidolon meta the way it is for so long. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like it's not worth the effort to them at this point. So.
Do you think that giving it so that say, you know how there was the whole Void Storm in Railjack where it would disrupt your systems? Do you
Yeah.
think that having a mission modifier like that for some of the end game content, where you no longer have 300 power strength, you now have half of that, so you get an immediate cut to your powers? Do you think that's a good way to limit the player and add difficulty, or not really?
I wouldn't say that I'd want to get locked into the a
Or
modifier like that
but
in
like a
end game
cooldown
content.
on your abilities.
Because people work really hard and get people that aren't like super enfranchised in the game, they work so hard to like get these mods in the first place. I'm talking about the players that like go out there and buy a blind rage. Like they're like, oh, I have no way of getting this is way too much end of the level of stuff. I'm gonna go like spend $50 or whatever, buy some platinum, maybe scrape by like, oh, should I buy Nida? Should I Wisp? Like people that like they have like 1 or 2 frames that they work on. If their build gets totally gimped by freaking a random modifier that cuts their strength in half, they're like, what the hell is this? Like, this is not, I worked so hard on this build and you're like just ruining it for me. So I feel like that kind of stuff is not really fair. I feel like
you knew ahead of time going into it. Like you knew that the raid was going to limit your powers. Like there's a warning that pops up, kind of thing.
I feel like the way that they did Nightmare Raids in the first place could be something along the lines of that. Like DE, this would require DE being aware of their own game mechanics. They knew like, oh, having double Trin is super ridiculous in raids. Let's limit the amount of Trins available in this raid to 1. Double Loki is OP. Like you can only run 1 Loki in the mission. I think modifiers like that don't actually change your builds, but change the gear you're allowed to make. Maybe just limit the amount of gear, a specific type of build gear you're allowed to bring would be a better route to go down than actually altering the build you have worked hard to create.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Ollie in the chat says, first of all, we need better AI and more unique enemies with specific weak points we need to exploit to take them out effectively. Noxus, for example. Look at Doom Eternal, has formula figured out, so fluid that when you mess up, you're dead, and that's what I want Warframe to be. So that was that input. I think the enemies aren't that smart, but also I feel like just having better AI isn't the greatest place
I don't
to
think
start.
increasing the AI is going. I think it'll help, but I don't think it's the be all end all when it comes
doesn't matter
to
how smart the AI is. If I can
adding
see them with
difficulty.
Oban or insta kill them with like the Rubico Prime, it doesn't matter how smart they are unless they're like juking my shots and like predicting what I'm about to do, like freaking like reading my character's mind or something like that. It's not going to matter because, like I said, we have a toolbox to solve basically every problem the game can throw at us.
And you don't want, and everyone would complain if they added enemies that resisted Warframe abilities.
Yeah.
So
Come on. Complain about the air list.
the Aerolist,
I hate those monsters.
the bird.
I love
truly
the Aerolist.
But not. Those damn Lugias.
The Aerolist was great. He was a precious bird sentient boy. You can't
Say
hate
what?
him.
Let's see. What's our next
Gone.
question?
Yeah, I got next one. Alright, so this one, the beginning one. Okay, so yeah. A lot of Riffin's questions. This one's might be wrong name, but Sayal. How do you get so many Riffins?
Well, it basically, now that we actually have 150 ribbon slots, for a while it's like 120. I already have ribbons in like over 100 of those slots that I'm going to be keeping. So for example, the first ribbon I ever got in my inventory is a Quanta ribbon. So I used to love the Quanta. So a bunch of those slots are just taken up by old ribbons at this point. But for new ribbons, I'll usually either be checking out trade chat, see what's going on there. If I see like a nice, I'm like just feeling like, oh, you know, that guy's selling a Tomb Thinker ribbon for relatively cheap. Like, maybe I have some Kuba I did survival recently. Let's dump some Kuba into that and see what happens. I also am someone that usually is messing with weapons I've not messed with prior. So, for example, I started using the Arca Titron for the first time last week, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I bought a ribbon for that, for example. So, yeah, I'm just someone that tinkers with builds and weapons a lot. So,
That's
just
what
by
I
that
do.
nature, I'm grabbing them all the time.
If I pick up a ribbon, I'm like, oh, you know, I wonder how well. I wonder what I could do with this. And I'll start putting work into the actual weapon.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Next question is. This wasn't phrased as a question, but what do you think of the cost currently to reroll a ribbon? From Isaiah Lane.
I feel like
It
for
was-
the average Joe, it's way too much.
Yeah, the question was originally phrased like, "Can you guys lower how
Yeah.
much it costs to reroll a ribbon?"
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
3,500
understand.
for 10 rolls is way too much for us.
Like I wonder if they thought we worked with DE and it was like an official Warframe podcast kind of thing, and you know they
probably did, honestly.
we were we were DE employees and they were, you know,
So what
criticizing us.
But pretty much the ribbon rolling amounts, I feel like they are balanced around having a booster active at all times. And by the way, if you're not grinding Kuva with a booster, you are wasting your time, because if you get a booster, it's like you're doing double the amount of Kuva grinding at once. So the way it goes is if you have a resource booster, you're going to get 2,400 from the flood, and you're going to get 1,200 from a siphon. That's a flood and a siphon, so that's 1 roll per hour if you do 2 missions. That's 1 roll from 3 siphons if you are running a booster as well. So if you're going with the normal amount, 600 per siphon, 1,200 per flood, like holy crap, that is a waste of your time. And that makes it even worse. And I am always running with a booster, so I do think it is too much. Capping out 3,500 is a little bit high. I feel like maybe cut it down to 3,000, and keep it that way if you're going to be having us always improve. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to be able to always improve the stats of these ribbons, then sure, 3,500 is acceptable. Maybe even increase it for always be increasing stats. Make it like 4,200 or something like that. But bottom line, we're never working toward anything with the ribbon system. There's no sense of progression. It's just you pulling the lever of the slot machine and probably getting screwed over. So I think by that logic, it is absolutely way too high for what we actually get out of it.
There's always people looking for the god rolls and getting the god rolls and putting the god rolls for sale, and the plat has to come from somewhere, because the plat you get from contests and prizes are you can't use in trade chat. That's all store plat. So the ribbon system is D's moneymaker a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So they're too scared to mess with that. From Ollie Fox, Doom got its glory kills the way you get health shield ammo. I feel like DE tried to make something like that in Warframe with Parazon kills. We get blood for ammo, blood energy. The problem with that is when in a mission players get flooded with all those resources. If they were more limited, it would be more difficult and it would make impact status much more viable. It would be a utility tool to get Parazon finishers more often and more reliable. The thing with that is I actually, when I was doing, back when I was first getting into endurance, I was trying some solo survivals on like relics and whatnot, and I started to realize just how sparse health orbs were and how sparse energy can be sometimes if you're not using a loot frame. So I think I know what you're getting at, but I think that my situation was kind of a less ordinary one, where usually you'd be in a full team of 4, just slaughtering hordes, and you'd of course get more drops at that point. So yeah, I understand where you're going for here. What do you think, Gaz?
Specifically for survivals, I mean, RNG is RNG. Of course, having an Arcane Energize does definitely make those energy drops feel a little bit better. Like, I can't imagine doing a survival without Arcane Energize at this point. Even with the cooldown added, it is, I wouldn't call it a crutch, but especially if I'm running Naramon, it feels completely required. So.
Did you know fucking Ludens ran that 9-hour with a rank 0 Arcane Energize?
He was probably running pads too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, see, that shows like it's that important. Someone's gonna even run an R0, and he probably had R5 versions of other arcanes.
Mm-hmm.
It is like a non-decision even after the nerf.
Yeah,
It's pretty much required.
it's in all my builds, just because of how good it feels.
The only frames I don't run it on is like a Naros and Nidus, maybe a couple, maybe Hildren as well, a couple others.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of the Parazon Blood for Energy ammo and blood?
I think the damage is already done as far as the drop balance in this game is concerned. They can't fix it. Maybe in specific mission types they could make it where it's like, oh, the amount of drops you get is so limited that things like that actually are necessary. In that case, I would run something like the new Parazon or the new Bronco mod that gives you a guaranteed Parazon fixture. I'd give I'd give thought to like an impact weapon that's going to give increased chance for Parazon mods.
You could give it impact Nucor.
Exactly, impact Nucor. That would be things like that. But the game is not balanced like that at all. Like, Arc and Energize is something they've already nerfed. They would need to nerf it again to make it so it's not like something that's essential. And I think they do want it to be considered like essential. Like even after the Scarlet Spear ruined the prices of that, it's still one of the most important items in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the price is like 20 plat or something like that, but it's too late to fix the energy and health and ammo economy, I feel like, in my opinion. Especially what we were talking about earlier, where like most situations you don't even want to use a gun, you want to just using an infinite ammo melee weapons. So
yeah,
I feel like it's not salvageable.
I get that. All right, let's see what's next.
Oh, I think it's my turn.
Yep.
Whoopsie daisies. Sorry, I was quickly banning somebody for posting Skyrim. This is a Warframe game. 'Tis a joke. So, there were a couple questions from Sadhansu and Bird about your thoughts on Ribbons being a slot machine or having poor RNG. What do you think about that?
We did already go over that a bit, but yeah, I feel like it's a complete crime against the player and spit in the face that has not been improved in the slightest since the introduction of Ribbons. The only thing that they change and give it in our favor is we get more Kuva. We should definitely have something involving possibly hard mode, maybe even Deviri. I don't want to say Deviri and get like hope in my heart that they're going to add it, because Scott's already mentioned like we're not going to add stat lock into Ribbons. It would break the market. Pablo says I don't see the benefit of improving the Ribbon system. So these are direct quotes from the kind of devs that actually could make decisions on this kind of thing. So I'm not going to have any hope in my heart for them improving it. And yes, it is complete garbage. And basically, if you don't like it, go play another game. Because they don't give a shit. They make too much money off of that stuff to actually put anything in our favor. And any smart decision would probably involve making stat lock Ribbons untradeable. Because that would probably break the market. Yes, you're right, Scott. It would probably break the market if we could trade these stat lock Ribbons. But if we couldn't trade them, that would probably kill a bunch of the trades that they make money off of every Prime Access. So it's a lose-lose situation for DE, and it's basically the player suffering for their poor decisions in the past.
Thank you, Pro Fudgy, for the follow. Means a lot to us.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Big love.
Ruben Market's already broken with the 5 dispo for new weapons and constantly fluctuating dispo changes.
Thank you, Great Shooters, for the follow.
I've never been one to like. Are there 4 Cephalons? No, there are 3, and
Cephalon, there's 1.
3 and 1 Grenier mask.
PTV. See, I've never really understood the nonsense with dispo changes. Like, I would understand the fluctuations again if Warframe was like a PvP game.
Yeah, especially when they put out a new weapon and give it a shit dispo. It's like, how do you?
I feel like they lose money off of that decision because, like, oh look, the new Guandao Prime came out with Nezha Prime. Like, if they make it low dispo off the bat, that entire rush of people wanting to buy Ribbons is completely gone because they're garbage Ribbons. I know for me personally, I didn't want to get a Stalta ribbon, I didn't want to get a Velox ribbon, I didn't want to get a Stropha ribbon because they were garbage at base. But here's the lose-lose situation for DE. If they make them high stats off the bat, they're looking greedy because they're like, oh, we're getting people to spend more plat on these OP ribbons at launch. So it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, I get that.
I can agree with.
I mean, I get why they're trying to do it so that people don't just sell high. I think it has to do with like what console accounts and them selling at a hiked price when they see that it's getting that it's getting primed on PC.
Yep.
Just checking chat real quick.
All right. DR took 1K of my plat because I was hacking. Pro Fundy,
man.
did you run a 9-hour survival?
God, I don't ever want to run a survival like that again. I hated it. Y'all should talk about the scummy thing DE is doing with new prime weapons getting neutral dispo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just-
exactly.
It's a thing. I'm not too affected by it because I don't do much with ribbons, but I can understand why people who definitely are big into using ribbons, why it could be completely and utterly frustrating.
Yeah, 'cause it's like you put it. Okay, here's the brand new weapon. The only way to make it compatible with endgame or competitive in endgame is by having a ribbon, but all the ribbons are fucking plus 55, plus 100, and then there's other ribbons that are plus 300, plus 320, plus 270. It's like, man, you could just use something else and just innately have it better. You're disencouraging me to use the weapons. Disencouraging? Unencouraging? Is there a word?
Discouraging.
Wait,
Discouraging.
Metroid Prime on YouTube, please. Discouraging. Yes, the Hydroid Prime's gonna be pretty hyped too. I'm gonna get another one.
Yeah,
Hydroid
free
Prime.
Hydroid and the Aphodai,
Yeah.
which I'm looking
I know
forward to playing
Daniel
around with.
brought it up. Do you get the free slot for the Hydroid as well? Does anyone know?
Yeah,
You should, yeah.
It's pretty lit.
and you get the free
Yeah.
pistol slot. You get the free weapon slot as well.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a exclusive or just a timed
It's time limited
exclusive?
exclusive. That's already come out.
Oh, okay. Nah,
I see.
I mean,
I see.
They'll probably come from Borrow in like a couple months or something.
I mean, hey, the Lotus ephemera still hasn't returned.
That's true, which I'm pissed about.
Haha.
I don't want it. Shut up. I don't want to hear your flexing.
Shut up, bottom text.
You know
Hey,
what?
bottom text.
Bottom
Selling
text.
Hydroid Prime for
Oh,
credits.
Okay.
Where he belongs.
bottom.
I'm only gonna use him to clip into caves with the capturas.
Hydroid Prime has a almost reliable pilfering swarm or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Something like that.
Let's see.
Totally.
Okay.
This
I'll
is
get
our
that.
last Riven question. If you can
Boy,
change the Riven system or remove it entirely, would you? From Bun E.
If I had the choice between removing it or improving it, it would definitely be improving it.
What would you do to improve it?
I would definitely make it so if you have the choice between left or right, that going left will always increase the stats that you already have on the current roll you already have it stat range wise, and right would actually. I think there's a couple things they could do. They could make it where you're stat locking, so the right one will always be at least interesting to look at. So you always lock in like, I will never get negative damage or negative multi-shot ever again. It will always be negative zoom or plus recoil or something like that. Or additionally, or alternatively, they could add a pity timer. Every 10 rolls, you are guaranteed to have at least 1 or 2 lines that have good meta stats on there. So critical chance, overall damage, multi-shot. It would not be like stats duration, reload speed, minus like crit chance on my 10th roll.
come
I spent
on,
35,000 Kuva on. I'm of the opinion that negative multi-shot, negative damage should not even be possible.
Yeah, those are just rude too.
Because there's no one will ever take those. Like there's no situation, unless it's like multi-shot, crit chance, crit damage, and maybe like minus like 50% damage. You would never consider actually taking those ever.
I could use a little bit minus crit. I could use a little less crit for this one.
Oh yes, I would love that minus
so-
melee damage. Yes, my favorite.
Ooh, like minus melee damage. Oh, I need that actually for this weapon. I need to do less damage.
Yeah.
It's like I could see
So-
they have like their minus range and their minus
Damage to insert.
Yeah, thank you. And fucking the useless ones and what's it called? IPS. Those ones are actually quite nice, but yeah, it's like come on, we don't need like negative damage, negative. What was the other one? The negative range and the negative multi-shot. I
Yeah.
forget who it was, but there was like those were the two popular videos where it was
Oh,
like he was shooting backwards, and it was like there was the guy with the negative range Kripath, where it's like you have to literally standing inside of them, you couldn't hit them. It's like
Now that we already have those beam videos, maybe it's time to get rid of those possibilities.
so
yeah, it's like
so
they've like seen that and just accepted the stupidity of it.
so Monkey Nips rolled a Riven recently. It was a new core Riven with minus 100% damage.
Yep.
And we went into the simulacrum to test it. He said it was giving him blue numbers on the exo officers, and they weren't taking damage. They were stacking status like viral and rad, but nothing that would actually damage them. No heat procs, no nothing. It was all just and it wouldn't even chain. It wouldn't chain because it wasn't doing damage. It was really weird.
Oh, that's actually, it didn't even chain. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I didn't think that would be possible.
I
Wow.
think he sold it.
You know, I actually have a negative damage ribbon that I actually use for some gimmicky stuff. You can actually farm the Kubrau dogs on. This actually is not as effective as it used to be, but you can shoot the Kubrau nests on Earth, and as long as the nest is being shot at, Kubraus will spawn to defend the nest. So I have a negative damage ribbon that will like basically make it do like 1 damage because it's not fully leveled up. It's like minus 98% damage.
Uh-huh.
So I can just farm like link health and stuff like that from the Kubraus with like a Hydroid.
Huh,
Let's see. I
nice.
think they should make it where you can
That's not bad.
more more.
Well, you can add more void traces to
Oh,
a radiant
wow.
relic. Oh, that's for relic talk. Relic talk.
Ooh, it's like relics.
That can add. Okay.
Or a way you can open 2 relics at once in a fissure, because we have way too many relics at this point. A lot of
Yeah,
us.
maybe
Oh,
like something
be
you can
double
get
relic.
from the steel path with Vitus Essence, Eidolon shards, and steel essence. Yeah, all as a new blueprint kind of relic synthesizer or something where you can open 2 relics at once.
Yeah. Let's see.
Tying
They
content.
eliminated. Yeah. They eliminated the negative accuracy from rolls, and the negative IPS are good because impact and puncture are straight up useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fond of all the staggery nonsense. And I guess if they can eliminate negative accuracy from rolls, why can't they eliminate the other things that are absolutely dog shit? There's no other word for it, dog shit. Instead of like making me feel like I rolled 30 times already and got nothing good. Alright. Go for it, Logan.
The next question. Alright, let me pose this up. Alright, now that we're done with all the ribbons, what's your favorite ribbon? Okay, no. Okay, in your opinion, what's the most underrated melee weapon? And this one comes from No Way Like Conway.
Underrated. Let's see.
Good. but
Depends who
people
you're really
say it's-
talking to, but I feel like it might be. If it's not the Jack Kusar, it's got to be something like maybe the Arcatitron. I've been using that a lot lately, and oh my god, the damage numbers you can get that thing are stupid.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't exactly red crit
Yeah, it has
unless
that
you have like a
Joker thing, right?
special crit setup going, but I mean, I've been getting like over 1 million damage on like normal yellow crits on some of these Grenier, so I'm gonna be making a video on that next couple of days, hopefully. But yeah, I have a speaking of ribbons, I have a negative 100% impact ribbon on that thing So it goes from being an impact and slash weapon to just a slash weapon. So yeah, it procs a lot of slash. It annihilates Grineer. It's really, really dumb. Oh, and by the way, it has a slam capacitor that can hit for damage cap in some situations. That is a hammer.
I see. I don't know. I just know that when I was doing that 9-hour run with when I was doing that run with Ludens, he talked so highly of that hammer. He seemed like he was doing a lot with it too.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful.
Do you guys remember that
Honestly.
guy in the ARB we did that had the Archetytron?
Yeah, I do. The guy who was like,
you're like, what was the highest you've done? He's like, 1.9 million.
like a billion damage.
I don't know why you have to do the voice, but you were just fucking ranking on him. I don't know why, but it's hilarious.
He was.
It was 3
so
against 1.
He was so hype about his damage numbers.
Yeah,
and
he
also
was
splitting
like
spawns.
splitting spawns, so of course we're gonna get pissed. He wouldn't stay in one spot. It was an ARB. I just wanted a farm, man.
I think we were farming Pistolier or something, and it was awful.
Yeah.
See, someone's mad that they gave us Eneros Prime instead of Neja. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
He did.
I think
I
we're all
want my
kind of mad
Daiku
about
Prime.
it. I'd be mad. I'd be pretty pissed.
They should have the opposite. They should have skipped over Naros Prime, not skipped over Neja Prime. Because if they skipped over Naros, that would have meant the next one would be Nidus Prime. He would be the next male Prime, and I cannot wait for that one.
Who would be the next female Prime?
It's gonna be Octavia.
It's Octavia and Gara.
Winter. Yep.
Hell yeah.
That's what
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for Octavia Prime.
2021, I'm getting my Nidus Prime.
You know, as much as people make fun of it and as cheesy as she is, I really like Octavia. I find her a lot of fun to play.
Apparently
I think she's really unique.
No, Pro Fudgy's just full of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. What are they gonna do? Like, Umbra Nidus? Although that could work. But no, I don't. They're definitely doing Nidus Prime. I don't remember what. Maybe it was you we were talking about with Gaz. How they'd make Nidus Prime look.
Yeah, I have no idea, honestly.
I think it'll look like a more cleaned up version, and I think all his abilities would lose a lot of the infested sinew. Just to keep the theme of like primes are the first kind of thing.
Because if you look at the deluxe skin for Nidus, actually, like he gets like metal spikes that come out of his stomp.
Yeah, I think you could get more with that and less infested sinew.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I see, at least.
Alright, let's see what we got. Would you play Conclave if it was fixed?
You can't fix Conclave. You can't.
You can't fix Conclave?
My friend... I guess I'll just present you with this. Instead of having it so there's a limit to things and not upkeeping like what's available and what's not, what do you think about a rotating roster of both weapons and warframes, where you didn't even have to own the weapons or warframes, you just picked from a rotating list?
I feel like the mobility system in this game is not conducive to PvP in the slightest.
I agree. It is.
It knocked me one-shotting these guys. Them bouncing back and forth off the walls pretty much makes it impossible for anyone to hit each other. Unless like you're just like pub stomping some noob. Because he is not bouncing off the walls back and forth like a crazy person. and to answer your question, I feel like that would kind of like hurt what I play this game for, where I can choose. I'm in the mood to use the Archiplasm more today. I'm in the mood to use the Dread. I'm in the mood to use the Stulta. I can do whatever I want and mess with my arsenal. The reason I play this game is because of all the customization allowed, the variety of powers. If I can only use the Bratton, the Paris, and like whatever else they would put in there, the heck, that would just be like a completely different situation. That would not be. Maybe it would be more balanced than what they got right now, but it definitely would still have many problems, I feel like.
Okay, what if the weapons stayed the same, but like you could choose your weapon, but the warframes rotated?
Every warframe can bullet jump at max speed, so it wouldn't really change anything, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's fair. What do you think of Lunaro?
I don't think much about it, to be honest. I feel like we need something in this game that's a PvE PvP mixture for me to be interested in it.
You want to elaborate?
I'm gonna use the D word again. Hopefully, you guys brace yourself, cover your ears if you need to. In Destiny, they have a game mode, kind of like the Index, but with a mixture of PvP. So what you do is you kill these enemies. They're just like normal. Like, for example, I'll make a Warframe example of it. So there's 2 teams that spawn in. They get teleported to their own little maps. On those maps, say like there's like groups of Grineer that spawn in like the left side of the map. You go over there, you kill the Grineer, and they drop like index points in the ground. You bring those index points over to the middle, the bank thing, and bank them in there. Once you bank those points into the bank, it will send like a sentient over to the other side, an elite, hard to fight enemy. And they cannot put their index points into the bank until that sentient is killed. And once you get enough points, say you get like 25 out of 50 points, you can actually send one of your players over to the other side to try and kill people and knock their index points onto the ground. And no one can pick them up after that. So it's a mixture of PvP, a mixture of PvE. It's not very well balanced in Destiny, but it probably wouldn't be very balanced in Warframe either. But I feel like that would be something that's more interesting to me than just strictly PvP or strictly Lunaro.
Yeah, I get that. I think Lunaro. I wish you could spectate Lunaro games, because when I was farming with Shy, because fucking madman over here, max ranked Conclave. When I was farming with Shy, we met some pro quote unquote Lunaro players, and man, the things they can do, it was incredible to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was really neat to see him juggle the ball like by himself, like bullet jump up and smack the Lunaro ball with the the Arca, the Arcta or whatever it is, the
Oh, there's plenty of people that love Lunaro.
Stick. It is so fucking sick. I wish that they would, one, fix some of the bugs with it, because they're simple fixes, and two, give people a reason to watch, I guess. Like make it more competitive, but like not like a ranked, but well, I guess maybe a ranked, but like host tournaments kind of thing that offer a plat prize instead of doing submit this Captura.
Yep. It was designed as like basically a Rocket League ripoff, and that's pretty much what it is. And they didn't really expand on it at all. So yeah.
I wish they did. It looks it's cool to watch. And I don't like Rocket League, so. Lunaro World Cup, the sporting event that the single largest amount of people have ever not been able to give a fuck about. Yeah.
Alright, Logan, it's your to go.
Question time. Alright.
Yes.
Who do we got? Alright, that was just the Conclave one, right? Alright, from Ezekiel Osai. Are you looking forward to TennoCon? Nice and easy.
Yes, I am. But I'm not entirely sure if it's just going to be another hype commercial for an update that's not going to actually pan out that way. I think that other content creators have made a really good example here, where it's like you watching a commercial for a Burger King or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, that burger looks like the best burger ever. And you go into Burger King, and you order the burger, and it's like the most disgusting burger you've ever seen in your life. I don't want another TennoCon like that.
That would suck, wouldn't it?
Which we've gotten last year.
I didn't watch last year's, so I still have a lot of hope for how cool it's going to be, which is a perfect time to plug our little watch party we're going to do on August 1st for TennoCon. We are going to be not only streaming it on Discord, but watching the stream all day. Little watch party together to talk about TennoCon, theorize it, and watch all the streams. So it'll be like a fun little party thing. And if you're not already in our Discord, link below, along with
I'll link in the chat.
a link in the chat too.
Yeah, don't type exclamation point.
Yeah, no, it still
It does
set up
nothing
bots.
still. But if you click the picture that says
nothing.
Discord, it will bring up the link.
Yeah, and I
You
put
can
the
come-
YouTube there too. Okay, you know what? I'm
so
trying.
proud of
Check
you.
your YouTube. Yeah, thank you.
So you should come and join us on August 1st, and if you're not already in the server, come join us. I can't believe we just lost everyone watching because I just plugged that.
We're like, wait, watching party? Fuck you guys. This ain't an interview.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to TennoCon.
There's no way they could fuck it up, right? We're getting free stuff for watching.
Honestly, we're all gonna get free shit. It'll be great.
Until you don't get the drop.
Until it's not a raid and it's just some random tile
Don't-
set rework.
Don't you fucking say that. Don't you
Oh,
fucking say that,
he's
okay?
angry.
You know what? We're getting a raid. DE said that Steel Path wasn't endgame because they were working on a raid for TennoCon and a big reveal.
Oh,
and they're
did they say that
bringing
last
raid
part?
back. Yes, they did. Okay, yes, they did.
And Revenant Deluxe is coming out too. You didn't hear about that part? Oh, dude, it's already like concept art and everything.
Hell yeah.
No, it's not. Revenant Deluxe will never come out.
Jason's in denial, guys. It's okay though. Don't
Okay.
laugh at him. He's a
Jason,
very
in
troubled
denial?
man.
Next
In the Nile
question.
River.
Next question. Do you think Prime Access will get a revamp, since it seems like the accessories are tanking in quality? And that's from Peter Diavola.
Peter Dinklage.
I think that would be smart of them to do it. I thought like when we got Mesa Prime Access with her own helmet, that was an amazing addition. I thought. And when you look at Inaro's Prime Access, you got Hot Wheel Track Prime Cyandana. His armor set was like kind of nice, but it wasn't nice enough for me to spend $50 on it. And that Cyandana is actively ugly, so it definitely could use a rework, but I don't think they're gonna do it honestly.
What, you mean the race car track that's in your attic right now?
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, I think they should do it, but enough people probably still buy it that they don't feel the need to revamp it. If it was up to me, I would have them actually replace the boosters as well. I'd say replace the blue booster with a orange resource booster, because that's a lot more useful. Or let us pick the boosters we're getting with Prime Access. We're paying so much money for this thing.
Mhm.
I think it comes with a credit booster and affinity booster, I believe. Like,
I
I
think
mean,
so.
a lot of people like in Endgame don't like they have like 100 million
I
credits.
think it comes with all three boosters. Drop chance, or yeah, drop chance, drop, and credit. Oh well, no, maybe it's not all three. I don't fucking know.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Drop chance.
By the way, it's not worth the money to me. So that would make it maybe a little bit more appealing if it's like, oh, I can choose. Not only do I get better cosmetics, like an exclusive Pharaoh helmet for Inaro's Prime. If they would have put Inaro's Prime Pharaoh helmet in there, I would have actually considered buying. I would even play Inaro's. If it's some badass exclusive cosmetic that is like really, really cool looking, not just like ugly like they actively have right now.
They added
Then-
it with they added something like that with the Void Trader, the Void Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, it's a really ugly helmet, but
What are you supposed
something
to
like
do
that
with
could
the
make it more
Skate
enticing.
Spectre?
I'd say 3 accessories by default seems like a better idea, and like that's more worth $50 to me than a Cyandana and an armor set.
Yeah, I get that.
Another quick question from the chat. What type of mission types would you want from the next Railjack expansion? And would you want new types of gear for Railjack, or keep the current parts as a T4 through 6 version?
I feel like the base attacks we currently have in Railjack are fine. Just more variants on that. So like maybe for example, like the mission starts off as like a rescue mission. You go to the base and like you still are doing the same kind of steps where it's like destroy the reactor, outside team blow up the generator to like knock out their power so like you can open the doors to the jail. Like a rescue kind of mission I think would be kind of fun. I think that an endless type mission, I don't really feel like that would be appropriate for Railjack personally, but I mean like I would love to be wrong there. And as far as the parts for the Railjack, what do we have? We have a shield generator, we have engines. Am I missing anything? Like a shield generator and engines. Oh, a reactor as well. I think like a radar system could be kind of cool. I'd say give us like maybe 1 or 2 more parts for the actual ship itself for a little bit more fun customization. Because as it stands right now, it's pretty much just like there's nothing really too exciting. The passives for the engines aren't really anything like to write home about. The reactors pretty much just get the most capacity you can, or the most flux energy that you can, whatever you're trying to build for. I mean, Railjack's an entire separate podcast right there because the way they balance it at this point, it's like a complete joke. You can just use tether and clear like the highest level mission in a minute and a half, maybe.
I liked pre-Railjack. I like pre-Railjack Veil, I should say. I don't mind.
But it was hard. It was actually hard.
It was hard, and you needed a team. Oh, well, you didn't need a team, but it gave you incentive to use a team. You didn't lose affinity, right? So you could all be in your own little place and still gain each other's affinity. And it was difficult. You had people managing resources. You had people restocking. You had people on the guns. You had people in the forward artillery. You had people boarding ships. It was definitely a lot more intuitive than it is now, because now you just spam Seeker Volley or Tether and just, snooze.
Yeah. So I'd say yes. I think we need more parts. And I mean, the mission type it definitely could add some more stuff there, but I do like the base attacks that we have currently. I think they're varied enough. Maybe add some more versions of that into there, because those different bases they have in Railjack actually do affect the outside of that base combat. For example, like one of the bases is a missile launcher. If you get too close to it, they fire a bunch of missiles at you, and your shield might break. You might get the ship on fire. The pulse turbine launches a bunch of boarding parties. Like that's actually interesting, different gameplay changing objectives right there, which I think is really appropriate. So they just need to make some more of those.
Yeah, I agree. All right.
I haven't even used my own Railjack for a mission yet.
You don't need it. You can honestly just go all the way to Vale without even having your own Railjack.
Yeah, I know.
Someone else's.
You could do the entire Scarlet Spear with a unranked Railjack.
Yeah, you just parked in the on the side. For the longest times, the Grenier ships wouldn't even spawn.
Yeah. That strat was in place since the Sentient Anomaly was first introduced, so they should have seen that one coming from a mile away if they wanted us to actually fly around on a Railjack.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have made free space or free flight more interesting.
Oh, totally, dude.
I agree.
Yeah. Alerts pop up there, make it more like an open world. It'd be cool. Not even open world where you could I guess open world in the sense how it is now. Like you can fly around, even have a party.
And like random encounters would happen. That would be sick.
Yeah, exactly. Random encounters. You could start little mini bounties instead
the
where
Void
people
Storm.
could join.
Also, I see freeloader. Yes, I am a freeloader. I usually do missions with Jason and sometimes others. I don't use my own Railjack.
Yeah, that's because I put work into my Railjack.
You would make an excellent.
Why would you?
It's
just a waste of time and resources if you don't need it. If you have someone that can then help you through there.
Yeah, I actually joined a bunch of pub missions when Railjack was first when Railjack was actually being played. Like you could see LF.
It was the smart way to do it. You'd freeload all the way to Vale and get the rank 3 parts because there's no reason to get a rank 1 or rank 2 part.
And I did work. I had a Meisha, so I would board and do stuff, and I eventually leveled up my intrinsics, and I pulled my weight. I just didn't build my own ship. Hydromedic and Alizade Celeste. Thank you so much, guys, for the follows.
Thank you so
Thank you, thank
much. We'd kiss you if we could.
Only you would.
All right, shall we ask the final question?
I think
Nope,
we have
there's,
one more before that, I think, right?
there's one more.
one
Is
before
it me
that.
or
How
is it-
dare you? It's me.
Sorry.
You get the final question this time.
shut-
Ooh.
Okay, give it a minute 'cause I got it.
So,
Well, you go 'cause eat quick.
Yeah. Do you just get bored when you're playing? What keeps you from playing when you've run out of things to master or stuff to do? From Bobby White.
That is a good question. So a lot of it is the fact I'm a content creator. If I was not a content creator for this game, I feel like I would have honestly just forgot. Like we wouldn't even be talking right now. I would have forgotten about this game. I spent back in the day, I did spend like a good amount of money on just like, oh, let's get like $100 here, buy some plat, buy this Sylvan Aegis, looks pretty cool. I would have just like already been gone. So I would maybe would have stopped by like when I saw something like Fortuna or Plains Vital. I'm like, oh, that game's, they added something new to that game. But being a content creator definitely keeps me around here. Also, plat number go up is surprisingly fun. Just like trading, getting all this stuff sold, I find that kind of enjoyable. I do enjoy just the mission gameplay of just like killing a bunch of stuff. I do love blowing enemies up with Nova. All the new weapons aren't always extremely exciting, but some of them are kind of exciting. Like I've been really enjoying the Stalta, that full auto rifle that can also shoot an explosive shot, has really nice sound effects. So yeah, it's basically like a combination of a lot of stuff. But if I was not a content creator, I don't feel like I would play. I would stop at this game maybe every once a year, if that. So yeah. And you bet your ass the Steel Path would have not brought me back.
Yeah, as someone in the chat has said, it's your amazing community.
Aw.
Oh yeah, talking about the railjack finger, that
I come
creepy
back and I
thing.
just see the fingers.
The finger.
Yeah, Zen said the same thing. If he wasn't making content for the game, he probably wouldn't be playing it.
Ooh, Kuda Survival's up. Yep. Me and Zen
So
talking about that.
does making content just make the game like somehow more enjoyable for you because you're like sharing the experience with other people and sharing your
Yeah,
opinions with
exactly.
the community who usually comments? I see.
The reason the channel exists is to share my experiences and to help inform players. Because when I'm sure you guys probably encounter this as well, because the Warframe community can be extremely helpful and kind. When I started out, I got so much help from people that had been playing the game longer than I had, like taking me on like void key runs, giving me free stuff, like telling me how to like farm for certain resources. And that's like what the idea of the channel coming out in the first place actually was from. And I just want to share my experience with people. And that actually, when I see someone say, I've gotten this comment before, Gaz, you actually have inspired me to play the game again because of these fun things you're showing in these videos. And those kind of comments makes me feel like I'm doing something right with the channel, and makes me continue to do it.
That's great.
Because for the amount of time I put into this stuff, I really don't get compensated that much, in my opinion. But those kinds of comments and those kinds of feelings that I get from helping people out, even if it's just a video game and I'm making them have more fun in a video game, that is something that I would not give up at all. So, yeah.
It's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
It's really what it's all about.
Yeah,
It's like if
it
you can make
shouldn't
someone
be.
else happy, if you can make someone stay, make someone want to play, it's just awesome.
I've never heard Gaz say something that sweet. OMG, uwu, from Ollie Fox. And I mean, yeah, that is kind of what it's about. I don't think it should be about like being popular or just like, oh, I gotta play the game because I already have this much time invested in it. If you don't like the game, stop playing. But if you don't even have to like the game for like the things that the game is presenting you. I like playing the game for like the Mimi builds and endurance runs and sometimes the lore if there's any, and like streaming for you guys. And so, I mean, I probably wouldn't be as into it if I didn't have friends who played it.
Totally.
I'm not the space ninja kind of gal, you know.
Yeah, I feel like this game you have to introduce to someone, and then you really need to guide them, or they'll just quit. The game it looks really fun and a lot of fun to play, but it's also incredibly overwhelming. You need someone to be there to like guide you through and show you the ropes.
Yep.
And then eventually, and I think that's where a lot of the how Warframe expands, is because a veteran brings a new player in, and the new player becomes a veteran, and he brings in, and that veteran brings in a new player. It's just that kind of cycle.
I can't even imagine. To be fair, I did start this game out with no friends that played it, but when I eventually joined a big clan, made some friends there, I mean, that's when like the fun just catapulted. People like you actually like you remember these people when you like, if you're in a big clan, you might remember these people you come and see in clan chat every day. You're like, oh, I remember running an Eidolon fight with that guy before. He's an asshole, or like he's an awesome dude. Like I like to hang out with him. And those friendships you build and relationships you build can last even beyond Warframe. I'd say like there's people I talk to outside in Discord that don't play the game anymore, but we're just friends because we met in Warframe. That's MMOs in general as well. It's just like it's a social game.
You do an Eidolon hunt with a stranger, and then a year later, on a podcast together.
Exactly, exactly.
That's how I met Logan. I was shit at Eidolons, and he showed me the ropes more.
That's amazing.
And now we've been friends for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree entirely.
I wish I was the space ninja kind of
I've
gal.
met
Sorry,
so many great people just from playing the game.
Yeah.
Like I met you guys. I love hanging out with you. Fucking Zen. I never
Monkey
thought
Nip.
I'd be like rubbing shoulders with him a lot, but he's definitely a really great guy and a lot of fun to hang around with. Monkey
like
Nips,
Ludens,
Finny,
Antonio,
Ludens,
Bob, Finny,
everyone,
Ludens.
man.
Yeah, everyone that vibes in our server. I love all of you.
Yeah, it's so great to have you guys.
So, a nice
Big
sentimental
moment.
moment before we go on to the big boy last question.
Oh yeah,
Plus
that's
100,
right.
plus 100 wholesome chungus.
God, shut up.
The last question, the most requested, the only question that sticks around every time, and me and Becky definitely don't copy and paste the beginning questions. All right. Would you recommend this game to a friend? Dun, dun, dun.
No, I would not, because I have tried, and the new player experience is god awful, and they immediately will leave after like a day or two, if that. So I'd say, like I have a lot of friends IRL, like I went to high school with and stuff that play Destiny, and not to say that the new player experience in that game is very good either, but I feel like getting into this game can be a lot harder and a lot more difficult to understand than an FPS, because like maybe not an FPS, but like some other MMO-esque games. And I've tried to recommend. I've showed my one friend specifically. Let me see how long it's been since he's signed on. I think it was like 500 days when I checked last. I showed him an Eidolon fight. He's like, "Oh, this looks really cool. How long does this take to get to?" I'm like, "It's probably gonna take you like at least 3 weeks, dude." And that amount of time just to get to like end game content, I feel like is annoying for a lot of people who casually just want to hop in and try stuff out. Because of course I could just carry him through, but where's the fun in that?
Mm-hmm.
So I know I don't normally recommend this game to people. I don't recommend it to I would recommend like Doom Eternal to somebody, because it's like, oh, this game is awesome. It's easy to jump into. Of course, Doom Eternal's not free, but there's a lot of games out there competing for your attention nowadays, and it's a lot of time and a lot of learning for no end game, and the devs don't think that improving the end game ribbon progression system is worth it. So I mean, why would I recommend that to somebody?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. What should DE do to improve the game?
Like
Pretty much the same answer I just gave. New player experience.
Gotcha.
They had an amazing. I know you said you didn't watch TennoCon last year. They had an amazing TennoCon cinematic trailer for the new player experience. That's just sitting on Steve's hard drive right now. It's not in the game. Things like that get people actually hooked on this. I don't know, because a lot of times I'll go and seek out new streamers in the Warframe directory and try to maybe help them out a little bit with modding, maybe gift them a new frame, just make it so they're a little bit more interested than they currently are, and just this game seems kind of interesting, I guess. What's going on here? And you can't even see from when you're on whatever the Mercury or whatever after you're doing Vor's Prize, the amount of stuff that's available in this game. Maybe you'll see all the characters, but you have absolutely no idea how to get any of that stuff. And a lot of them just think it's a pay to win game. So yeah, I'd say new player experience needs to be revamped. I'd say force players to actually make good builds. So for example, if I get at the end of Vor's Prize, or at least when the enemies start ramping up in tankiness a little bit, force the player into the modding screen, force them to put on plus toxin, plus electric, make corrosive damage, and explain why they want corrosive damage against Grenier, for example. Because even me in a freaking voice call with these guys, trying to explain why they want to mod for these certain things doesn't even explain it to them. So DE needs to make a proper tutorial that's not just here's how you jump, here's how you shoot your gun, here's how you melee. That is the very, very bare bones of someone. You shouldn't have to tell someone how to shoot a gun in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many other layers of Warframe that are not even explained in the slightest, unless you go to a wiki. This game is a wiki game through and through.
Yeah, I agree. I have the wiki open pretty much every time I'm playing.
Logan, you wanna take that last little part of the final question, since that was the most jarring comment that stuck out to me when I was scrolling through all of them on the community post.
The last question. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that as a final.
Yeah. Do you think with the current state that it will continue to thrive, or as a viewer put it, nosedive into the ground?
I know for a fact that with a lot of players, the Viri is the last chance. So,
yeah, it's really I'm do something to improve. Otherwise, it's not going to be worth playing for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like 2019's just been spinning our wheels the entire time. Personally, we got a new tile set. That's cool, or rather a revamped tile set. We've gotten the Scarlet Spear, which was basically a tech demo for Squad Link for them. And we don't know what Heart of Demos is. Hopefully it's a
Raid.
Actually worth. I hope it's a raid with some actual worth. Hopefully it's some actual worthwhile content that's actually going to make me feel like I'm not just mindlessly mowing down hordes of enemies like I usually am. And as far as last year, we got Failjack. We got the janky Kuva Lich system that had to be reiterated on 3 times before it was actually in a suitable farming state. Because remember at launch, when you stabbed a Kuva Larvaling, you couldn't tell what weapon it was. Yeah. The percentage was whatever the hell you got. There was no infusion. What else was there? It was so bad at launch. And it had been reiterated on many times. And then before that, I think the only good update we got in 2019 was the Jovian Concord that gave us Disruption and Wisp. So it was a pretty rough year in 2019, in my opinion. And yeah, I think that it has potential to go back up, but I do think that the player numbers have plateaued or are never going to get to Plains of Eidolon levels ever again. Personally,
you never know, because Duviri could be that one thing.
Yeah, it could.
Hell, Heart of Demos could be that one thing. You never know, man. You never know until it's here. You know what I mean?
I feel like, to a certain extent, I kind of, in my opinion, I do know, because a lot of people, back in the day, Warframe was an underground game that not a lot of people have heard of. At this point, it's all over Steam. There's been advertisements for it all over the place. The people that had no idea this existed have probably heard of it at this point. And let's take a quick look at the player numbers on Steam right now. It's not retaining these people that check out, like I said, the new player experience is ass. They're not retaining these people that check out the game for the first time. And after that, they're like, oh, that game is really way too confusing. I'm not going to play it again. 32,000 currently on PC, biggest platform. And
32,000 registered users.
And we take a look at Destiny 2, 68,000 on their smallest platform, which is PC. So no, I don't think it's actually on the way up. I think it actually is on the way down.
I see. Well, let's hope whatever TennoCon has to show, it's, enough to keep the players in, because even though I haven't been playing that long, I haven't been around for all the things that disillusioned a lot of players with the game. So I still think it's fun, and I'd be kind of sad if it, nosedived into the ground, because it's a game that is not only free to play, which means I get to play it and I don't have to spend money on it, but it's something that, a lot of my good friends play. So let's hope it doesn't, crash and burn.
Oh, I would be heartbroken if Warframe died, personally. So much time, so many memories, so much money in this, that it would be it would be life-changing at this point for me if Warframe disappeared. So I don't want that at all. But I want to be a realist about it and how I feel about the trajectory of the game currently.
That's fair. I get that.
Hell yeah. It's fun for new players. It's just got nothing to offer for those of us who have been playing forever.
Yeah,
The new player experience is still garbo, though. It's fun for new players who can get past Vor's Prize and past all the confusing stuff.
You need someone to take your hand and guide you through the wonderful world of content when it comes to this game, because there is so much right off the bat. Like, Plains of Eidolon is literally right there. You could go to Plains of Eidolon before finishing Vor's Prize, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
which is another one that start chart issues.
Yeah, it's one of those wonky things.
Alright, Jason, why don't you take us away?
Alright, Gaz, guess what time it is?
It's time to fuck off.
Oh my, what the
No,
fuck? No,
it's
it's time to plug yourself, man.
Oh, so same thing. So my name is GazTTV, if you didn't realize that already. I stream on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me at youtube.com/GazTTV, on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV, and on Twitter at my Twitter handle is TTVGaz.
Was GazTTV taken?
I forgot the password to GazTTV.
Nice. One of the questions on your community page was, can I join your Discord? Do you have a Discord, Gaz?
I do have a Discord server. It is on an invite-by-invite basis, because we've had some really bad trolls in the past. So.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
So to that poor viewer, no. Sorry.
You can't.
I do have a Discord server, though. We have
You know
about
what?
800 people in there, I think. Actually, no, it's less than that. We do have one, though, and you can join there. I'm always in there. It's about 300 people. And yeah.
How would one get in?
Hit me up on Discord, or I sometimes post the Discord invite link on YouTube. So those are your two options, pretty much.
Yeah, just
or
keep
OnlyFans.
an eye out for it. Yeah, or
OnlyFans tier number 1 get you your own invite link to the Discord server.
You're kidding.
It's being worked on right now.
Yes. So, and one of the quick, nice, easy ways to get a hold of Gaz is joining CephalonChat's Discord server in the description underneath the stream. You should click it. You should join. We're fun. We hang out in VC all the time. Usually chaos ensues. It's fun. You can also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, where if you missed any part of this interview, you'd be able to find it up on there. Is there any other plugs I'm missing?
I think you got it.
No, I don't
everything.
think so.
The real plug. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and coming. Thank you to all our new, what would you call them, followers and monkey nips for subscribing. We all very much appreciate you all.
And thank you to Gaz for coming on to our show. It means a lot, and we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And
it was really
hey,
fun.
we got to be your first interviewers. So I mean,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
It was. I really appreciate you guys inviting me. It was a fun time. Hopefully, didn't kill your mood on the game going forward. But
No.
yeah.
Oh, no. I'm a very aggressively optimistic person.
Gaz, would you be up for getting like a group of people together to just I don't know, theory craft some kind of dungeon or raid. I just think it might be fun to like fully plan out that kind of thing with some friends.
Yeah, I think we did that. We actually were theory crafting a raid setup the other day on stream. So yeah, definitely join the Discord server if you'd like. We discuss that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
That's all we have today. I
Alright,
think
let's
we are going
Go
to.
raid Ludens.
Yeah.
Everyone,
So,
thanks for
just as the
coming.
last thing, it was nice talking to you all. Very fun time. Make sure you stick around to go watch Ludens. He just recently started streaming. Wonderful guy. Check out all our other stuff and have a nice day.
Yeah.
Have a
Bye,
good weekend, everyone.
guys.
Still tight.
Bye.
Smell you later.
Bye.
That's a godless ass.
There we go.
All right. Lovely.